at the lead in?
We're all live on air.
Are we?
Yeah. We're skipping the intro for YouTube. Bella, go. All right, we're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, there. Just for fun, radio listeners and YouTube viewers, it's Guns and Gadgets. It's another Tuesday night. It's 1900 hours. You got Military Mike here, my co-host, Xander Mack. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how are you?
Good. You had a rough afternoon, I understand.
Yeah, been a rough day today. Just got here, had time to run home, grab some beers, and head to the studio.
You know what? A man with his priorities in line. McLevin.
What's up?
The engineer with the mostest. That doesn't make any sense.
Still not going.
Yeah.
Still not going in the right direction.
No, I know. It's whatever. We got to work on that. I don't know.
We have a guest in the studio also.
Somewhere.
Staff Sergeant Brian McCleary.
He's getting his beer.
Yeah. Hey, look, I think we should just get a keg. What do you guys say?
I think it's
a little pony keg.
As long as it's a keg
Why
again,
a pony
sure.
keg?
Oh God.
Why go small?
Oh, because we're not gonna be able to drink a whole keg.
Do you know who I am? You don't know. You don't know that side of me.
I'm gonna turn that right to the camera, get some free advertising.
Well, yeah,
in there
that's
for
okay. The
Guinness.
Budweiser doing the same thing there, and you can have a Coke if you want there, McLevin.
I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you.
It says quarterback on it.
I actually think I have a drink in the fridge.
Really? There's a Monster in there.
Is that it?
Yeah, well, there's Monster, more beer, Coke, water.
The Monster's kind of hairy though, and
yeah,
you don't want to get your hands
the
close to his
studio
mouth.
refrigerator is like a science experiment gone wrong. It's like weird science up in there. So the reason why I brought in Mr. Brian McCleary there is because I thought Xander Mack was going to be a little late, and unfortunately, me and Mr. McCleary over here served in the military for a couple of years together. He tried to have me killed in Bagram. Is the story I always tell. I came in on a black helicopter owned by one of those 3-letter organizations about 5 o'clock in the morning up there while he was up there. And he came and picked me up in a pickup truck, and some knucklehead bounced an RPG down the road in front of us. It was kind of like, hey, what was that? And he went to RPG, just that matter of fact.
Yeah. No biggie.
Yeah, they got you guys got hit a lot in Bagram, didn't you?
Yeah, we were kind of like sitting ducks. I remember waking up one time and two hooches over was on fire, literally. They're like, I'm like, are you gonna wake anybody up?
Nah, hell no. Get their PT belts out. Y'all want to hear something funny? You know what a PT belt is? I know you guys weren't military.
It's a
reflective, yellow reflective belt. Okay,
yeah.
Here's the deal. You did not walk around Bagram. Now, this is a combat zone. This is in
Anywhere in that
north central Afghanistan during the conflict. You did not walk around anywhere on that post without that PT belt on. And
why is that?
That's right. It made you more visible.
Well,
probably for target ID.
Exactly.
That's what I always said. But you know what's the funniest thing in the world is to watch F-15s ripping down the runway and busting a full vertical to get up over the damn mountains, and you're in a PT vest or a PT belt, you know, or the C-17s come freaking flying in. They would be literally where you couldn't see them. Yeah, they're just a speck in the air, and then 10 seconds later they're on the ground. They just drop out of the air. They're kicking out flares and everything else, trying not to get shot down. But yeah, so we got I had told him bring a guitar. The man actually plays a pretty mean guitar. I thought he could do a couple licks for us in and out, and then play the guitar. Get it?
Could have done that.
Nice.
Could have done that as one of our music breaks.
Taint. Yeah. So, all right, another start to another show. Hey, we've picked up a couple large groups this week that I just posted in a little bit ago. I wanted to welcome them along. It's the regular guys. Hold on just a sec. Let me make sure I'm reading this out right correctly. I hate when this happens. So let's see. New computer here, and wow, touchscreen laptops should be banned. They should be banned from anything that I might have anything to do with. They're the most confusing things in the world. All right, let's see. Y'all be patient. A regular guy's firearm page. It's a closed group, and they've got about 10,700 and, well, I could have sworn it said 777 members earlier today. Now it's got 10,755. I guess we chased off about 22 members.
As soon as you liked it.
Yeah, that's very, very possible. Very possible. And then there was another group that we joined up in. Let me see if I can find that real quick for us too. So what else is going on in the world? You guys staying out of trouble?
Work.
Okay, well, no, don't.
I'm just
yeah.
working.
Just working.
Working my.
You
butt
were
off.
working this morning.
Yep.
Yeah. How'd that go?
I work tomorrow morning.
Do you? Oh, do you?
Yeah, I work a lot of mornings this
Oh,
week.
Okay. And then obviously Xander Mack over there, he had a tough day.
It's been a long day. 4:30 this morning.
Yeah, those are usually what kind of days we have on Tuesday, but it's been a little bit different today for us. A little broken up. I went home after the morning show and chilled out. Talked with my dog a lot. I mean, my dog had a long conversation today.
That's good.
Did she talk back?
Yes, of course she did.
What kind of dog is it?
Pit bull. I got a little white pit bull. She's a sweetie. I loves her.
We're
I
gonna-
do. I love her more than people. I got more pictures of her than I do my kids.
We're just gonna glaze over that.
I love all animals more than any person.
Yeah. I know you posted that thing about a week or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
There was an animal
Yeah,
that was getting surgery. Wasn't
Yeah, Vet Ranch. Let me talk about these guys for a minute. His name's Matt. He runs 2 YouTube. He's a vet, but he's also a big firearms enthusiast. He runs 2 YouTube sites. One's called Demolition Ranch, where
Cool.
he goes out and blows shit up every weekend.
Oh.
Shoots. He
Like-
does a lot of testing of body armor and different ammos.
So you use tannerite?
Yeah, he
yeah,
uses
okay.
a lot. In fact, I believe he just set a world record for the largest tannerite explosion.
Really?
Mhm.
Tannerite, for those of you who don't know, is a non-binary explosive that upon impact, usually they say like a 308, right? It's got to be at least a 308. Hits it.
I mean, a 223 will do the
yeah.
job, but I think really in smaller containers.
Yeah. Now, the best thing to do is put it on a 55-gallon drum and put, I don't know, about 10 gallons of diesel fuel
Absolutely.
and
yeah,
hit
baby.
that tannerite, baby.
Yeah.
And it makes a hell of a concussion. And just a beautiful, how can I describe this for radio? Just a beautiful mushroom cloud.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
looks like a black girl
That's good
that's got
stuff.
really tight shorts on it. It's a
Perfectly
beautiful
legal.
muffin top thing
Yep.
going there.
Perfectly legal right now. You can buy it at most sports stores.
What you talking?
So anyway, he runs Demolition Ranch, but he also runs Vet Ranch. Now, this is an organization he runs. They're purely not for profit. In fact, they don't make any money. They don't pay themselves a salary. They work purely off of donations.
How
You
do
can
they
go
do it?
to
How do they do
you
it?
can go to vetranchrescue.org
Okay.
and make donations there. And they post videos to their YouTube channel of every animal that they help and save.
Really? Now, what was their Facebook page?
Their Facebook is facebook.com/vetranch.
Vet Ranch.
And
Okay.
their website is vetranchrescue.org.
Now, are these the folks that are out near Madison?
No, they're in Texas.
Okay.
They're actually in Texas.
It's
And
a little bit
I-
further than
yeah,
Madison.
I know it's a
Yeah, I
long
would
way
say.
from home, and
Yeah.
I would say if you can donate some money to your local no-kill shelter,
Yeah.
but also throw some money to Matt and his guys,
Yeah,
because
that sounds cool.
they work some absolute miracles. And the beauty is you get to see them on YouTube. You get to see the before and after
Really?
of the lives they're saving, and your $10-20 goes a long way in their hands.
It really does. And then a lot of those rescue places also get like donations. The bigger you are, so that you can prove it and demonstrate it and all that other stuff, that these feed stores will donate. But I mean, you can't be just a fly by night and trying to get a bag of dog food.
Yeah,
But
right.
these bigger places, like the one you're talking about, they can get.
donate supplies and things like that.
Yeah.
You're talking about. Yeah,
But you got to kind of show that you're in it to win it. Not like you, Brian, where you're just,
And
I'm just here.
he's here.
He's just in it.
Yeah, he's just in it.
Mhm.
I'm occupying
Well,
space.
a lot of their work is strays that they find, people stray wandering around who's injured. Last week they had a dog come in who, I don't know if the dog had been beaten or hit by a car, but had a huge gash across its
Oh,
head,
man.
and they took care of him, and they're going to find him his forever home.
Really? That's cool. Did y'all
Speak-
see that dog on TV here in Atlanta? WSB was covering it. Dog was tied up by a church, tied up to a tree by a church. Oh, buddy, you see every bone in its body. You know what? I know a way to prevent that through deterrence is let me videotape me kicking the living shit out of somebody being mean to an animal.
Yeah.
You could show that video around town. You could maybe do it on a little Periscope, something like that.
Yeah.
I guarantee that deters some of it. Wow. Anybody that is cruel to a small animal like that, before you think about hitting any animals or anything, call me. I'll come meet you. Jesus.
I agree.
Hit somebody who can hit or hit something that could hit back.
Yeah. Yeah. This ain't Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Bricks don't hit back. That was a graphic for YouTube viewers. All of you. Okay.
All of you.
Shut up.
Well, he's
Okay.
here. So
All right. Well, of course, on the start of Guns and Gadgets, we always like to kind of get everybody in the mood there. And then we like to hit a couple news stories. I forgot to mention, what did you do today? I'm sorry.
Oh, I had a couple of nice appointments.
Who are your appointments with?
Our lovely local Veterans Administration.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
so what you're trying to say is you're crazy.
Well, that's what they say.
Well, the prescription said bat shit crazy, but
if you
All
want
right.
to get technical,
Yeah, I mean, that's
That
a
was
medical term.
That was the clinical term.
that's
yes.
yeah, there you go. Join the club.
Hey, you're
Yeah,
alive.
right. That's right. Oh, yeah.
330,000 vets can't say that.
That's right.
Yeah.
22 a day commit suicide.
Isn't
Did
that
you know
something? That's freaking crazy. It's like 8,500 a year. And then they said that study came out last week that over 300,000 have waited or have died while they're waiting.
While they're waiting. Yeah.
It's
in
disgusting.
the emergency room, if you've ever tried that stunt.
Oh
Oh,
my God.
God. Yeah, don't ever go to the emergency room at the VA.
It was horrible.
Speaking of the emergency room, I just had a recent visit.
I saw the pictures. That's pretty disgusting. I like the staples.
Yeah, it's not. Everyone, calm down. I know you're all worried about me.
Oh, I know.
and whatnot.
God, the phones just rang, just all lit up.
Yeah. No. I had a guy at work.
See,
Slip.
look, the phones are ringing off
Yeah,
the hook
look,
over
they're
here.
off the hook. I don't even know who that is.
It's
but
his
I'm sure-
wife.
I'm sure she's worried about me. Don't worry.
And wrong number.
Don't worry. I'm all right.
Hey, Derek, I know you're not listening, but I'll call you back, buddy.
Wow, that wasn't very nice.
Guy, we closed it down. We closed the bar down. The bartender was mopping behind the bar, and there were some glasses that she was holding and about to put them away. And the busser comes over to say goodbye to her. And I'm talking for some reason full sprint. I don't know why. Full sprint.
Girls do that.
It was a guy.
Oh, guys do that to girls too.
Yeah,
Just
that's what it was.
Good cover.
Um,
good cover there. All right, good. Yeah.
He fell, and the glass bottle or the glass cup, whatever you want to say,
The
broke
glass.
his fall through his knee.
Bonus round.
A shard of glass stuck all the way down to his patella, the actual bone.
The kneecap.
Yeah, the kneecap.
The patella.
And I had to patch him up.
Did you get to make any voices with the open wound?
No.
Like that's so
I'm
much
bleeding. Someone stop the bleeding.
bleeding profuse. Okay, boy, the show's getting off to a hell of a start tonight.
Yeah.
So you brought him to the emergency room. I saw the stitches.
Yeah. Well, the staple. He did
Staples.
7 staples.
Man, staples are brutal, man.
Well,
they
I
just
mean,
look cool.
That wasn't even the worst part. The first thing, he got a tetanus shot, which tetanus shots hurt.
They hurt like hell.
They hurt. He was
They really
they,
do.
he first of all, he hates needles, and
Oh,
and
God. One of the
we found that out. He got the tetanus shot, and from that moment till he left, he had that look on his face like, I want to kill everyone that's around me.
Man, check this out. When I was working in an adult club, right, one of my bouncers got punched in the face, and I went over there and I grabbed the guy around the throat. And being that I used to study Aikido, I had my key fingers out. The guy leaned over and bit my finger, okay, and had it in his mouth. I was just pounding this dude, and he would not let go of my finger. And it basically gathered up all the meat and yuck and all that other stuff. So there was you could just see the bone. And okay,
Right.
now they give you the local, which I guess is supposed to numb it out or clean it out or whatever. Whew, man, I was swinging at the doc.
Yeah.
That wasn't the tetanus or the rabies. Or
Well,
any
the
of that other stuff.
doctor
This
was
just
like from a different country, and
imagine
I
that.
couldn't pick up the accent.
What's it, Methodist? Hello, my name is Dr.
Kind of
Bob.
almost
Yeah.
like that.
Hello, I've been studying medical stuff since I was like Two.
But he injected it with all the
Just me and you here. These two are zoned.
yeah, I know. He injected all the numbing stuff. I don't know
Yeah.
the technical term. And then he started putting his finger in the hole and just wiggling it around.
Yeah.
And that was cool.
Doctors get to do the coolest stuff. Like,
Man.
yeah. It was starting to sound like NPR for a minute.
The nurse
Right.
practitioner
Yeah.
or whoever you the
You're making
guy
me
who
wanna get
wasn't
one of those there, Xander. I'm telling you,
Xander is the man when it comes to vaping.
we got to talk. after
Vaporing.
this.
Yeah, we got a store that works with us and everything. I sent a couple
great.
guys down there this week.
Oh, they have
Rolling Rock.
a little giveaway.
Really?
30 mil bottle of juice to first person to call in.
Oh wow! There you go. There you go.
Sweet.
We have it.
calling to here.
Yep. Rolling
Yeah.
Rock. Rolling Rock.
Yeah, give out the number.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna call
The
in.
studio number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Studio
You got
number is 678-760-1556. That's 678-760-1556.
Give us a call, people. What else are you doing?
And
Really?
use the
Our-
secret word juice.
Juice me.
I have a code I'll give them.
Give me
secret code
30
juice.
milliliters where it counts.
But yeah,
buddy.
first person and call in if you're a vapor, obviously. Don't
Juice
just
me up,
call it.
Scotty.
Yeah,
you
don't-
can't just drink a bottle of juice. So
well,
yeah.
you can.
yeah,
I mean, you
You
can, but
can.
that's very, very
I mean,
toxic.
I want to get technical there.
Or
I'll
text.
see. But
text is fine.
no, we want
No,
to call
call
in.
in.
We're lonely.
I'm not that.
We're-
I'm not that.
Okay, let's talk about some news and then we'll talk about some gun stuff. I want to start out the news this week with my girl, Hillary. I heard on the radio right as I was coming to the studio tonight, there is a possibility she's going to cop a plea.
I've heard people talking about it.
Yes.
The thing is for her to take a plea, she has to admit guilt,
and that's going to be
and
that's gonna
she's not going to admit guilt.
But here's the thing.
that would
They're-
devastate
they-
any kind of presidential.
Well, yeah, they're almost saying that this is out of, because look, when Gowdy gets a hold of her next month on the Benghazi thing, he's going to smoke her like that.
It'll be the same as when she last went in front of the Benghazi panel. She won't say a damn word.
Yeah, well, that she wasn't running for president
Well,
back
Sanders has
Exactly.
passed her in the polls, supposedly.
then. Xander has.
Sanders.
Bernie Sanders.
Sanders.
Well,
Man, that freaking old.
it
fart.
it depends on the poll. I mean,
living in
Joe-
dead,
Joe Biden is polling at 22%,
and he hasn't said he's going to run yet.
and he's not even running. Now Hillary's at 44%, but that's down 10% from
Yeah,
last month.
and diving like a
Now,
submarine.
The kicker is favorability. Biden is in the 70s for favorability, and Hillary is down in the low 40s.
Biden's 72 years old.
How about Ben Carson?
He's a
He's an
Republican.
idiot.
Shut up.
The man doesn't believe in evolution.
Who? Which one?
Ben Carson.
Here we go. Here we go.
And he's a PhD, for God's sake. How do you not believe in evolution?
Time for a commercial yet?
We got about
Yeah.
a minute.
Okay, got about a minute. So here's the deal: Hillary Clinton cop a plea.
Maybe.
Cop a plea.
I don't want her to.
Guilty.
I want her to either
You're
be
from
censured.
The UK.
I want to see her censured or
Is she still
In prison.
holding- She's
Flogged.
not holding office right
Can we
now.
get her
She-
No,
flogged?
she
no,
had to-
she's nothing. She's nothing right now.
Can we get her
oh
flogged?
yeah, that's right. She's
Get her
not even
flogged.
Secretary
No.
of Sex
Exactly.
State anymore, is she?
Yeah,
No, she needs. Look,
I say
if
excommunicate.
what would happen if they got hold of Ed Snowden?
Oh, he'd go to jail forever.
Right.
Yeah.
What happened to Chelsea Manning?
Who? Yeah,
She disappeared.
Petraeus.
Right.
Chelsea Manning's in prison for the
Yeah.
rest of her life, or his life,
Yeah.
however you want to look at it. I say her for
Well,
the rest of her life.
did the army
Um,
really pay for that?
And
Yeah.
and you know what? They did the same thing. They exposed state secrets.
Right.
All right.
This
with
is
that,
what
we gotta
Hillary
go
has
to a
done.
break.
All right, we're taking our first.
Don't cut
commercial
off my
break.
political rants.
And no f bombs this week.
See you in a second.
Say what?
Guns and gadgets, just for fun
Fuck.
radio.
Man, all of our zero viewers heard that.
You can
Yeah,
go
I
smoke
know.
a cigarette. We usually do what? 3 commercials and 2 songs. 3 commercials, 2 songs. Go ahead. You're a non-key holder.
That's right.
I
I
love
love that fact.
Get a beer, dude. What the? Wow, he just bitched you out. Get it?
Say what?
Hell no, man. That chick, she's gonna get away with all of it. And then this guy on Facebook the other night's going, they've already had like 4 freaking investigations on Benghazi. Why y'all bringing it up again? Because the bitch lied.
Well, here's my opinion on that. I think the email pales in comparison to Benghazi.
Oh,
It's the murder of a U.S. ambassador. I mean,
three
what
others.
I believe under any other president we would have gone to war
And then,
for that.
You know, they said that one general quit because he was told to stand down. That is the biggest lie ever. That is the biggest. See, it's when they do stuff like that, they freaking convolute the damn stories, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that way, that's why it doesn't have a pull. So you got any news you want to cover? Either one? Because I'm gonna. He wants to do. He's gonna talk about Bergdahl.
What about why is Bergdahl back in the news?
Bergdahl's back in the news. Oh, they're throwing the book at him. They're attacking.
Oh,
him.
for desertion.
Again, sorry for the song selection. I literally just dragged a song.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, we gave up some terrorists for a deserter,
we gave up 5.
and yet we gave up nothing for
3 of
Syrian
them.
prison. We got that for Iranian prisoners. Gave
5
Iran
or
everything they
3 of the
wanted from
5
nothing.
Have already been seen back in combat. I think 2 of them have been killed.
Let's see what Bergdahl's up to. Oh, well, he's being charged with the same thing Hillary should be charged with, exposing secrets.
Good. I hope he fries too. Fry 'em.
Oh,
Kill them all. That gold set the match.
He's being charged with desertion and misbehavior before the enemy.
Misbehavior before the enemy. That's what he was trying to tell me earlier. And
I have a gaming question
Okay.
That's a serious charge.
that I'll ask around the room,
Ask
but I'm gonna wait until Alpha
Yeah.
Lupo calls.
see if he knows.
It's not a question; it's more of an opinion.
$26,000 a year. He better.
I'll get him last because
Y'all hear about full throttle?
I have a little tie-in to your Chicago rant, by the way.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go to town on that one.
Ding.
Did we see what?
4 minutes. Peace out, A-Town down.
I think everybody. in my
Man, you're kicking it old school.
Oh, is this old school?
Yeah.
Wow, I must be old.
We played this in the club twice now.
I still do.
I mean, it hurt your head.
I remember skating at Sparkles in Gwinnett County. I was young, okay? And this song was every 5 songs.
Sparkles. Yeah, I was watching some videos on YouTube recently from my hometown, and it was a club we used to go to. It was called Spirals, and it was called that because they had spiral staircases throughout the whole thing. It was actually kind of a cool place, to be honest. It was 3 levels.
Right.
And we would hang out at the top, they played a lot of old rock and roll and 80s rock and roll type of stuff. Then there was the main disco, we'll call it, where they played all the dance music and pop music. And then downstairs there was because MTV had just started up back then, so they had the MTV bar, and that's a great place. But I was watching some old YouTube videos of this place. Man, what an embarrassment! There was a couple of old friends of mine in this thing. It was fun. We're trying to entertain our zero. Oh, we have a viewer.
Shut up.
Hey, viewer, how are you doing? Let's do all something.
Scare him off. We love
Shh,
you.
shh. Don't scare him. Don't scare him.
hey, it might be Kim. I sent her the address.
The address here.
No,
She might be sending in our
the
generator.
web address. Thank you very much.
Hey, if you want free vape juice, call in.
Yeah, give out the number. A free bottle of e-juice to the first caller, courtesy of Rolling Rock
No, you
Vapor.
have to call that, 'cause I want to get off these cigarettes. Don't-
Is
Oh wow. you
678
seen this round
760 1556. 678 760
counter? You seen this round counter
1558.
thing?
Call in and give us the secret code Juice Me Up, Scotty.
Handhelds and rifles. Little round counter. It's so freaking.
What is it?
It's just a little freaking LED readout. I'll share it on our page. It's cool. It's just some of that crap you don't really need, but you like to think about having. It's just like the damn keyboard, you know, the hologram keyboard or the projection keyboard. You know, they're like $150 and they don't work. You know, stuff like that.
And touch your toes.
Skip
All right.
that. Rewind it back.
Look at this monster.
Monster. God.
Here, I'll take a look at that.
Yeah, I'm drinking, so I don't play with guns when I'm drinking.
27, 23.
Freaking
Block 43.
Point at somebody.
40.
34, sorry.
It's a 72. It's a 35.
Glock 34. It's their long slide competition / tactical.
Is it 10 millimeter? What is it?
9mm.
9.
That's my new competition gun.
I like that.
I like
I always
that.
like the way that their weapons do.
I love the way they feel.
Could not post the timeline.
So that light
We've
is
got- 35 seconds.
35 seconds.
that light on there is pretty cool.
All in all, 30 seconds with my 5-second countdown.
Just the LED.
Yeah,
Wow, I
just
can't-
press down on one of those
I can't
levers.
post to the gun.
No, the thumb. There you go. And if you double tap it, it'll
Okay,
strobe.
Scotty, what's it say? Because your show don't have to play songs as long, I'll just take commercial breaks here and there because y'all still got a good show going on video. Okay, so no more music. Is basically what you're saying.
Welcome.
So just do the cool.
And we're on in 5,
I'm gonna do the bird
4,
dog thing.
3, 2.
You haven't been putting our commercial on YouTube, dude. You suck.
Commercial. What are you talking
Well, our video. You know what you remember the video? You're the engineer.
about? Yes.
The video thing. You know, it's got the video
The
stuff.
thing with the thing.
What?
You know,
Why
the
have I-
promotional.
We
Yeah,
have a
the video
commercial.
stuff. Yes,
it's
we
the
do.
thing. It's the thing with the thing.
Yeah, the video thing. You know, you play the music.
Play the commercial. I want to see it.
What are you talking about?
My co-host.
What?
Hey, yeah, you know what's funny about this is my co-host has never seen our promotional video, and I'm trying to post something about a round counter onto our Facebook page, Guns and Gadgets, and it won't let me do it.
What are you?
You're the
The
administrator.
video,
right?
you know, the video that we play at the beginning of the show.
Yes.
Okay, you didn't play it at the beginning of the show.
Yes, because I
You
got here a
suck.
little late.
Yeah, you suck. And so, but now Xandermac would like to see the videos. So why don't you throw it up there or throw up or,
Give me a second. I gotta find it.
oh my God, this is why engineers are so hard. Good engineers are so hard to
I
find.
don't have to.
Well, while he
You-
does that, can we talk about this
Man,
douchebag
you know-
Bo Bergdahl? Can we talk about
Now,
that?
do you know he bolted when you and I were over there?
I know that.
Yeah.
I heard.
Yeah, I remember V telling me about it.
Right.
Yeah, because, you know, he got his ass whooped when he stepped outside at first. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. So okay. So if anybody knows about this guy, he was pretty much a deserter, or that's what the Army. It's Army Sergeant Bo Bergdahl. Now, at this particular point, the Obama administration traded 5 high-ranking Taliban prisoners for Bo Bergdahl,
Yeah.
or
Suckwad.
Sergeant
Yeah.
Bo Bergdahl.
Traitor Bergdahl.
Right.
Now,
Well,
hey, do you know
I know
anything about
at the time?
Everybody jump
At the
in.
time, the administration said he was a captive. He was a prisoner of war.
Okay,
They didn't.
but
Now I think
Yeah.
everybody knew he was a deserter,
Well-
or at least his
yeah,
his command.
I was
His
in
command knew he was a
Kabul,
deserter,
and like I
but the
said,
administration were saying he
Yeah.
was a captive.
my intel guy that was in the office with me told me about this dude because it came over the wire the next day. This guy walked outside the front gate
And just took off.
and
And just walked off.
took off, and he got his ass whooped. That periodically happened in Afghanistan.
It did.
Sure.
Yeah, you know. So the thing I want to mention though is the fate of the 5 that we released. Any idea what happened to them? Because I had heard like 3 were seen back on the battlefield, or 2
Well,
were dead, or
At this point, 5 Taliban commanders were unavailable for comment on this because they were too busy plotting the deaths of American soldiers and civilians.
yeah.
At this point, though. However, there is a new twist. At this point, the Pentagon has charged Bo Bergdahl with more than just desertion. They went back into the annals of the Uniform Code of Military Justice, and they decided to charge him with a crime called, let's see here. It says
misbehavior before the enemy.
Exactly, misbehavior before the enemy. Now, what that includes is shamefully, and that's from the Uniform Code of Military Justice, shamefully abandoning any place that is his duty to defend. Also, it includes cowardly conduct,
whatever,
or endangering the safety of his unit through his own disobedience, neglect, or intentional misconduct. Now, what that actually refers to is the recovery efforts that were made once he was classified as missing or AWOL, or however that's MIA is how that's classified in combat operations.
Yep.
And so he put a lot of people at risk, basically. And of course,
didn't another guy get killed when they were out searching that unit that was searching for him? A guy got killed in a firefight, didn't he?
Well, that was not directly related to his disappearance, but I know that there was engagements in the area there. I don't think that or at least at this point, the Army is considering those engagements. They weren't directly that wasn't specifically a group that was looking for him. However, however, the point of fact and the news about this is, prior to this charge, Bo Bergdahl was facing 5 years of imprisonment.
Yeah, and they've dug up a charge that they haven't used since World War II to make sure he goes away for the rest of his life.
He actually could receive. He could be executed for this.
It could be a death penalty thing, but it won't be.
Well, here's the thing: why not just take him out back and kill him? I'm good with it. I mean nobody asked me this.
It's immoral.
Yeah, I got morals.
Right.
Yeah.
And
guy next door lives next to me.
And
name is Morales.
Well, let me ask you: would you say the same thing of Edward Snowden?
No,
me either.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I like Snowden.
Mm-hmm.
He's a traitor. He's a traitor.
Yeah, I mean they're both traitors.
Yep.
However, at the time that Bowden did his thing and left his post.
Who's Bowden?
Excuse me, Bergdahl. My apologies. His first name is Bo.
They had a baby.
And Snowden, so that would be Bowden.
But Snowden.
Yeah. Anyhow,
that's it.
I
no
think
more pot
there's
for you.
There's a little bit more severity. Thank you. I know.
I was just joking, listeners. He doesn't smoke pot.
There's a lot more severity to what Bergdahl did as it relates to American lives being at risk. And I know that Snowden had a lot of information.
Yeah, I mean the long-term ramifications of Snowden's leaks could theoretically put a lot of American lives at risk. I'm just playing devil's advocate. Don't get me wrong.
No.
I believe Bo Bergdahl should die for what he did. No, I do.
Don't sugarcoat it.
I believe he should die for what he did.
Okay, but here's the thing.
And I consider Ed Snowden to be somewhat of a hero for what he did.
Well,
and I could
y'all know
try
the deal
to
about Paul
articulate
Revere,
why.
Right? Y'all know the deal about Paul Revere. Everybody thinks Paul Revere was this great patriot. You know, he's a son of a bitch, right?
Right.
He caused more trouble, you know, and it's just a respect factor.
He was a double agent.
Yeah, he was. If you read the stories about Paul Revere, you would be amazed. This guy was a freaking troublemaker. Okay, so Snowden, yeah, but you know, Hillary Clinton wrote a letter to Snowden and said that your leaks could possibly endanger thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of lives.
Yeah.
Okay. Did anybody die as a result of Snowden?
We don't know yet.
No.
Hillary did.
Freaking Bergdahl. He's that dude, man. Let me tell you something. Who was filming that transfer when they made the switch? Who was filming that? Anybody got any curiosity there?
Was it filmed?
Yes. Yeah. When they take Bergdahl out of the car and the Black Hawk comes down, they take him out of the car, they make the switch. Who was filming that?
It was probably the State Department.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. We had State Department guys on the ground?
If they knew the transfer was coming, they sure would. Yeah.
No, this looked like it was in the heart of Crapazone. I mean, it was definitely Indian country.
It could have been. Could have been
Yeah.
troops with body cameras.
Shoot, there was no troops there. You haven't seen that video? Seriously? We
have
got to
not
get.
seen
I'm
it.
gonna try to find that video for you. Yeah, this is up in the mountains, dude. this was laid out for the public, just like a lot of things. Ooh, man, we got this whole conspiracy tension going. What else you got on Bergdahl, man? Because I wanna touch on one. Xander Mack, you got anything newsworthy? You want to beat anybody up this week?
I have a tie-in for your story
Oh, okay.
when you tell yours.
Okay. All right.
What's his name?
Well-
What's his first name?
I
Bo.
found it here.
Bo Bergdahl.
Bo Bergdahl. He's a dip. I say that the Army pays for a sex change. Okay. And then when he goes to prison, he gets beat up because he's a transgender. That's just,
Right.
that's my take on it. You know what?
And he could become a prison bitch.
It's, it's
Either
my-
way. So
It's my story, and quite frankly, I'm sticking to it. Xander Mack, you've never seen this commercial right here that's up on the screen?
Huh?
Thanks for listening.
I'm listening. I'm listening to this video so I can have an opinion.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you in a second.
All right. Well, we'll get back to you. Anything else? You got anything else on Bergdahl here?
no, just that he's a dirtbag, and I hope that he gets what's coming to him.
Yeah.
I mean, we actually traded, or excuse me, the Obama administration actually traded 5 prisoners for someone who was, quote, worse than a deserter. So
Yeah. But yet in the Iranian deal, we can't get 4 of our folks back
No.
because it'd be too complicated.
absolutely.
What the hell? Does anybody else just smell the disgusting crap they're shoveling? Oh,
It was filmed by the Taliban, by the way.
it was filmed by the
Because one of the shots you can see one of the Taliban fighters holding his camera out,
Oh, do you? Okay.
and he's in it as
Yeah,
a
there you go.
selfie.
There's a video right there. Cool. Yeah. So okay. So how do we get it? How did they send the?
They publish all these
Yeah, they
videos
want-
online.
It's
Well, I know.
propaganda for them. That's
I
what
know,
they
but
use.
They probably send it to Al Jazeera or whatever. But you guys, you see what I'm saying? Y'all are giving me the surface answer. Damn it! Don't make me play DJ Scotty on y'all and make y'all think.
They probably handed it personally to Hillary.
Are you kidding me? I say that I
Just give you something to
yeah,
think about.
when
there.
you know about the drugs that are up in those mountains and all the other crap that goes on over there, and all the ministers over there don't even live in Afghanistan, but the Ministry of Interior, he's got an office there, but he doesn't live there. That kind of stuff. Yeah. Who was really
being-
thinking when we went to war over there?
being-
Anybody?
Being
Bueller?
a person who had been in Bergdahl's situation, in other words, having a post and having appointed duties
Mhm.
in that particular theater, I just gotta. I mean, there's something about me. I have to really wonder what the process is where. You know what's going to happen. I mean, and as the NCO, he was a sergeant.
Yeah.
Okay, he was a first level non-commissioned officer in the Army. That actually E4 to E5 is still the largest pay increase in the military pay scale. So that not only, I mean, he had been educated as to what was going to happen.
Yeah.
when he
Yeah,
did
I mean,
this.
common sense tells me that if you walk away over there, you know what's going to happen.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
tells me his intention was to go fraternize with the enemy.
Right.
That's what I think.
And look, I'm going to tell you right now.
Because what are you going to do? Walk off and go check in at the Hilton?
Right.
Well, believe it or not, you can. I mean, the Serena Hotels right
I
there
have
and all.
the video of the transfer.
Dude. Yeah, that's
You
it
wanna-
right there, dude.
you
I
wanna
told
share-
you, Black Hawk swings in.
You want me to share that?
You can put it on YouTube if you want to. I think it's important for people to see that this is a load of crap, man. This is, and now they're coming up with some charge from World War II just so they can keep this guy.
They're going
It-
to slam him.
You know what?
I
Why
hope
why
they
don't
do.
they just put him under Gitmo? Nobody cares about this dude. And you think his mother, you know what? Take his mother and father and put him under the jail too. I don't care.
I wouldn't be surprised if this president, if he's convicted of anything, this president pardons him.
Right.
Yeah, good point. Good point, because that's going to happen. A lot of that's going to happen before the end.
He's
too.
already pardoned other criminals.
He is a criminal.
Yeah, I mean, the presidential pardons he's issued, I actually agree with so far.
Right.
Because they're nonviolent offenders. Generally, who were convicted of ridiculous drug charges when they were younger.
Right.
And
25 years for possession.
yeah,
Right.
and I have no problem with that. This guy though, I don't know. I think the president will pardon him just to save face.
For those of you on
Exactly.
YouTube, we're showing the video of the transfer right.
The new
now.
Taliban video shows a Bergdahl release. I like the little white flag.
Breaking overnight, the
shoot.
first images of the actual Bo Bergdahl swap.
Yeah, now
emerging
look at
on
the
the
guys.
Taliban's
Look at the guys
website.
that are walking them out to the helicopter.
chanting
Yeah.
praise for their leader. 18 armed Taliban militants seen standing in wait, perched on grassy hills in the valley, guns and rocket launchers
It
at
is-
the ready.
Oh,
The
no, that's
narration
not Al
says this
Jazeera.
meeting
Is it?
took place
Yeah.
at 4 in the afternoon in Host Province, eastern Afghanistan. At the
Host,
center of the action, a silver pickup truck. Bo Bergdahl seen inside, sitting in the back seat. Bergdahl, dressed all in white, he appears to be nervous, blinking, shaky. Bergdahl seen talking with one of his alleged captors. At one point, the army sergeant even cracks what looks to be a smile while talking and then wipes his eyes. Seen flying overhead, a twin-engine plane approaching the meeting point.
Yeah, it looks like a twin engine.
And then suddenly, like a scene out of the movies, the Special Forces Black Hawk helicopter descends. 2 Taliban militants immediately escort Bergdahl towards the chopper, waving a white flag. 3 U.S. Special Operations commandos approach, shaking hands with the Taliban militants.
Yeah, they know him.
Pat down Bergdahl's back and immediately begin escorting him to the
Yeah,
helicopter.
that's their job. They build
In
those
Bergdahl's
relationships.
left
That's
hand,
pretty cool.
A plastic bag, the contents not yet known.
That's
The
PT belt.
commandos wave back to the militants as they run towards the chopper. They
Oh, yeah.
pat Bergdahl down again, this time in a deliberate and thorough fashion.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Presumably,
A flyover and a Remington
explosive
700
right
would have solved
before
that
letting
problem
him in.
right there.
Oh, yeah.
There you go,
I
buddy.
could have been up in the hills
Face-to-face
here. Well, that's enough to get your blood boiling. And like I said, I think it's a fair bet that if we just go ahead and grab Bergdahl and his parents and bring them to Gitmo, what the hell? They can have a cell of their own.
I think he needs to see what real incarceration is like.
Yeah.
Let's get him in one of those
Well.
pyramids down there.
All right, so we done with the Bergdahl thing. Now you got me pissed off. All right, let's go to something incredibly stupid. Tonight on Guns and Gadgets, absolute freaking morons that spend University of Chicago's money. The headline reads, criminals pretty much avoid buying guns legally.
You're kidding.
Can you freaking imagine?
What?
Yeah, dude, I'm serious. Criminals pretty much avoid buying guns legally.
Why would they avoid?
Hey, I've bought
Says-
some legal guns. What's
Says
the
the
deal?
University of Chicago study. Now, I have to give it to Xander. He posted something on this last week, and I apologize, I missed it. But here in a nutshell, and I'm just going to give you this real quick. I'm just going to give you this so you can chime in about it. We'll go to another break, and we're just going to do commercials. We're not going to do music, so we can get back on the stuff. Okay, here in a nutshell, criminals, they don't buy their guns legally. Okay, what you got, Xander? Because that's about as freaking stupid as this article.
Yeah, no, I
gets.
mean it tells us the bloody obvious, really, doesn't it?
Thank you, Captain
But
Obvious.
let's it was
Jesus
just a
Christ.
study of Chicago criminals is all it was. They
Good
were
thing.
they were asking people incarcerated in Chicago prisons.
It's good.
Um,
So all of
Tying into
Chicago.
that, over the holiday weekend in Chicago, the by the way, the bastion of gun control.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
We're very tough
Exactly.
gun
That's
control.
what I was going to say.
So over the weekend, 37 people were shot in Chicago.
Damn. That's
Right now, 6 of them have died.
Slow.
Okay. And some remain in critical condition, it says
I'm-
here. But 37
and-
people in one weekend in a city with the toughest gun controls in the nation, or some of the toughest gun controls in the nation. It amazes. 17, but they've had 1,700 shootings in Chicago alone this year. Right. Now, here's the thing.
You know how
People
many
will,
magazines
now,
that
It's
is?
now-
working, right?
right, but here's the thing. People will point to that and say we have a gun problem. Right. Well, hold on.
Yeah, not
Think
enough.
about it. In 2013, there were 14,200 something gun murders
Okay, in the country.
in the nation.
Yeah.
14,200 something. 11,500 something of those were black on black murders.
Right. not 40,
Yeah.
60 something
We-
percent, right?
I don't know
Yeah.
if it's so much a gun problem or a culture problem.
Well, then,
It's a-
okay. Well, it's freaking
it's-
video games.
It's an accepted culture of
idiot
violence.
problem.
I'm glad you said that.
It's video games.
It's an
I'm
idiot
glad
problem.
You said
Dude,
that.
it's video games. I'm telling you right now. It's video games. I know
We'll
it
be
is.
talking about that tonight.
You know. I'll be honest with you.
GTA, baby.
There's there's a lot of it's not video games. There's a lot
Thank you.
there's a lot that points to this. Doc's wife was on here the other day,
mhm.
and I didn't get a chance to call in because I was busy, but I would love to have spoken to her.
Yeah, she's
Military.
military.
How long we got?
We got 30 seconds.
Oh, I don't have time for this. Remind me after.
Well, I tell you what, we'll go to
It's
a commercial
literally
break,
a minute break.
and it's gonna
Okay.
be we're just gonna do a couple commercials, and we'll get right
Okay.
back on it. Hey,
I'll touch on what I think the issues are when we get
you
back.
and your white headphones need to do that. There, Beats.
All
All right, Guns and Gadgets, baby, just
Yeah.
for fun radio. Hit it.
See you in a bit.
Well, see you.
In like a minute.
Hear you in a bit.
Whatever.
Yeah, and okay, we're back. No. Oh, I thought you were gonna go get another cigarette break. I was about to. Damn.
Buddy.
He. What? I thought we were gonna get Jeff Matthias vaping too. What happened there? I'll call him tomorrow, and then he definitely needs to.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if it's just internet, but you know, I'm already talking about getting more internet in here
Mm-hmm.
just because there's so much.
Yeah.
We got
pull,
30 seconds.
pull up
Are we pulling too
our
hard?
hangout.
Oh.
Just miniaturize that.
Um,
Wrong keyboard. That was a close one. Pull that up. That's not blurry.
No, man, DEA's pumping, dude.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi is pumping. That's just telling you how strong the Wi-Fi is. That's not
All right.
telling you.
And we're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, there, ladies and gentlemen, it's Guns and Gadgets. This is Military Mike, along with Xander Mack, our super cool engineer McLovin, and tonight's guest, cohort, is Staff Sergeant Brian McCleary.
Oh yeah, baby.
You never made E7, did you? Did you make E7?
I was a P. Believe it or not.
yeah, you're a peon, but you're retired now, right?
I am.
Okay,
I am
good
I am no longer active.
All right. Well, the boss was down here talking to the engineer, so I didn't want to get back on topic there. Trying to fix the blurry.
That's what
blurry
she said.
blurry video apparently.
Oh, probably that damn vape over there.
So yeah, Chicago. I'm going to get back to this while it's still in my mind.
We do.
We got 1,700 shootings there last year.
Okay. And you said a little over 11,000 were black on black.
Oh well, 14,000 something, 14,200 nationwide, and then over 11,000, 11,500 of those were black on black crimes. Now
Yeah, but it's because it's happening in not suburban.
Urban.
It's inner
happening in
cities.
city.
Urban.
Yeah.
it's inner cities,
Not
and
urban, shut
that's where the problems start. And you know, unfortunately, it's become accepted. It's a culture of violence that a lot of people seem to be proud of for some ungodly reason.
That's right.
But it starts in the home, and I think the schools. You've got inner city kids that are in remarkably underfunded schools that honestly don't care about them, don't want to give them any hope or any chance of ever making their lives better.
They're not trying
We
to
have-
produce
We have
citizens,
politicians that have
Hey.
no intention of changing this whatsoever.
We should get Morgan
These-
Freeman in there.
I mean, and the only thing these kids see as a way to make a living is crime. They turn to crime to make a damn living.
and they can make much more of a living doing that
Yeah.
than any other of the options that they have, given their education level.
Okay, but you know what? When I was growing up, I could too. Right? I
you
could
think
too.
it was that? You
Th-
think it was that prevalent?
Dude, do you what, drugs?
I'm talking about the ability to make a living as a
Yes.
13, 14,
Yes.
15-year-old kid.
I could have sold dope easy.
Selling
So
dope.
you don't. You're right. You any of us could turn to crime. It's a choice you can
Right.
make, but you had other opportunities available to you.
Well, a lot of it was I made those choices. My mother was shot and killed when I was 15, right after I turned 15 years old. But I still graduated high school.
Sure.
Yeah, graduated with a damn good freaking B average.
Yeah,
you know?
it was a good school.
Stone Mountain.
I mean, it's a half decent school.
No, it's not.
Now it's not.
It wasn't then either. But the point I'm trying to make here is that you're absolutely right. There's choices that got to be made. But hey, I've never seen a movie about high school success stories or high school football teams that weren't in the inner city. You see what I'm getting at?
I see what you're getting
Yeah.
at. I think that's a very small subsection of the culture.
But that to serve with love. I mean, you see what I'm saying? All these things from the 50s and the 60s and now up into our time frame now. Kids that go to school, yes, of course I used to steal car stereos, dude. I used to steal bicycles and then get like $5. It was just because I'm a freaking criminal. It wasn't to make a living, right?
I didn't do that.
You did it like last week. I had to post bail for you.
I was playing music for money back then.
Yeah, he was hooking.
So that's what they call it.
Okay, so here's the point I'm trying to make is all these shootings and stuff like that. I don't blame the schools. I don't blame the economy. I don't blame culture. You know who I blame?
How about the parents?
Thank you.
Can we have a little bit
So
of
it's
home?
not-
Can we
it's
have
as
a little
as
bit
I
of
said,
home?
it starts in the home and in
No,
the
it's not
schools.
video games.
I have somebody texting in saying that a lot of these guns are coming in from out of state, and that may be true.
Oh,
Well, it may be
God.
true, but the criminals themselves are saying they get them from friends and family.
Now, who just said
That's
they're
where
coming in
they're-
from out of
That's
state?
where he pointed me to a Chicago Tribune story, which I won't take.
I saw it.
seriously,
70% say they got
But,
guns from family or fellow gang members, other social connections. But come on. How can you track an illegal gun coming from another state?
I mean, if they were purchased legally and stolen, you could track it then.
Yeah, but geez. I mean, I can't tell you how many guns I've bought legally that I have no idea where they are.
I think
None.
I think a valid point to raise is that the expansion of gun control in this particular area has had little to no effect.
Could we
on-
not?
No, it hasn't, because they're going to get guns somewhere.
Could we not
Regardless.
put a GPS in all guns
No.
that are
Let me ask you.
registered?
Well, you know,
For
they're
what
ta-
purpose?
kind
talking
of like a
about the
black
ring.
box, so you know who
Well,
it belongs to?
they're talking about the ring.
Oh, I mean, that won't tell you who
Yeah.
it belongs to. I'll just tell you whose possession it's
Right.
in if you have a court order to track it at that particular moment in time.
Okay, so we're talking about guns and all these shootings. Okay, look, here's the deal. If you're 11 years old and you're packing heat, okay, and you're out at 2 a.m., I'm sorry, but one of you, either mama or daddy, needs an ass whooping.
or grandma and grandpa or whoever it is.
What, God, y'all hear about the grandparents that left the kid in the car? They left the kid in the hot car the other day and the kid died? Oh, my God.
Hey, how about this 911 call right here in
Oh, yeah.
Atlanta from the parents who were drugged by their own children?
with Xanax and then beaten to death for the insurance money.
Yep.
Okay, so that's, you know what? That's not a video game, but it could be.
There was also another story about two teenagers in Gwinnett County that tried to kill their parents. They tried to beat them to death.
I was about to say, it just kind of stopped. We had a little dead air there.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Well, I went to school with one of them.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
So you have that tendency as well.
He's a great guy, right?
Possibly. He actually was.
Okay,
He's
so
he's
you
great
know,
guy.
you're trying to stay with the topic of the show.
Sorry.
Okay, guns that are owned illegally are illegal. It's just like illegal aliens. If you are here in this country, okay, and you are not a citizen, Jesus, stop it, McLovin. If you're here illegally, you're a criminal. If you have a gun in your possession and you're see what I have to deal with. Watch YouTube, guys. McLovin's.
Okay, so the
He's
story,
shooting
by
up.
the way, the story I was linked to is a guy that was working for the police.
Right.
He was selling guns illegally in Chicago,
Right.
and he was buying the guns in Indiana.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
in this
Then-
particular case, it
yeah.
was a police. It was a
Yeah.
police. I don't know if he was an undercover cop or just a guy the police had working for them. But in this case, he was working for the police, bringing guns in from
Yeah.
Indiana, probably to prove a point, to make it. They were creating a statistic
Right.
in
very
this.
much
In
so.
this.
Exactly.
Now,
instance.
you know, down in Miami, they used to take all the guns that they collected up and they would bring them on a boat and they used to go way, way, way out in the ocean and throw them overboard because the salt water will eventually destroy any of the weapon, right? Well, get this. The guy was meeting up with another boat and they were transferring the guns over to them and they were turning around selling them right back. So, yeah. Okay.
Isn't that where the Coast Guard comes in?
Well, look, man, I'm telling you right now, do you guys honestly believe we can't stop kids from carrying guns? Seriously. Come on, man. Why am I the only guy that thinks in my head, of course we can? Do you think we can stop drugs, proportionately? Do you think we can truthfully and honestly make a dent in the drug problem in this country? I'm sitting here going, yeah. And everybody else goes, well, we're doing all we can.
No.
Bullpucky. Let me tell you something. If I was 12 years old and I came in past when I was supposed to, I was in trouble. Now, let me tell you something. If I just go ahead and throw this out there, single parent, okay, dad wasn't in the picture, just my mom. If my mom would have caught me with an actual firearm, let's say like a 38 snub nose or something, when I was 12 years old, I'd be walking with a limp hell of a lot sooner than I got it.
Still.
Yeah, so that hell of a lot worse than I got it from the military. Come on, man. Seriously. Geez, we don't have to fill the prisons with people. We really don't. We just need to start taking care
Just the ground.
of the criminals.
Yeah.
And to fill a prison, just
be
the ground.
accountable.
Yeah. Huh?
These parents of these children need to be accountable. That's one thing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about a broad spectrum answer for that particular problem. But as far as access to guns, and I'll just say it from this standpoint, it was a lot easier for me. And I grew up in Henry County, which is not very far from here.
Y'all were required to carry a deer rifle to school.
Well, we did have gun racks in all pickup trucks, but
That's all.
the other point I was going to say, it was a hell of a lot easier for me to get drugs than it was to get alcohol. Which-
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, now see, that's a point of this I didn't take into consideration. Now, let me ask you a question, guys. We're talking about Chicago and all this other inner city stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Atlanta doesn't have anywhere near the children with guns that like Chicago has and stuff like that. Atlanta's bigger too, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
don't we have more people in Atlanta than Chicago?
Right.
I think
guessing,
it bounces back and forth.
Yeah, I think they're pretty close, but Chicago looks like a freaking war zone, man. Seriously.
All the gang warfare in Chicago.
Yeah.
Every gang in the United States, every major gang in the United States
Yeah.
has a headquarters in Chicago. versus
Okay, now
Atlanta.
here's one that's probably going to floor you if you didn't know this. 82nd Airborne. You know, the guys wear the red berets.
Mhm.
There are gangs in the 82nd Airborne.
absolutely.
Gang tats, everything.
And they entered the military for the particular purpose to receive the training
Right.
and
And the
knowledge.
sport their gang.
Exactly.
Okay, and we know this,
Mhm.
and we can't break it up. Come on.
Say what?
You see what I'm saying? I don't go for this. I really don't. And you know what? Unfortunately, I'm a little bit old. Maybe if I was young, but you know what I went through in the military.
Fortunately, you're a little bit old.
Yeah. You know what I did. Okay. The last 4 years I was in the military, 7 days a week, right? 18-hour days. Don't tell me no. I don't care what rank you were. Don't tell me no. Because I'd prove you wrong. So there's got to be more people out there like that. There really does. Come on, man. We jumped in a freaking river. We didn't have to do a river recon, but we did, right? We're freaking going underwater with our weapons. We didn't have to do that, but I decided we were going to do that because it was a team building thing.
Well, and it was also a point of fact to prove that even if your job specifically was not to do that,
Yeah,
you can still do that.
that's right.
Especially if it's a necessity of the
Yeah.
mission. So
I'm a firm believer in what we're taking authority and respect and ability away from law enforcement in this country right now. And there are people out there that truthfully and honestly think it's going to get better.
It's not. I feel like it's gonna get really, really bad.
Yeah, I do too, man.
I don't know how to fix it.
Yeah. Well, I know, And you know what? I'm not going to sit here and blame Democratic, Republican. I'm not going that way. I'm just saying, when
It's
it's
America's
open
problem,
season on
not-
cops right now,
Yeah.
I'm a plord. I can't lie. When I go outside, I have a gun, and I'll kill you. I mean, let's just go ahead and ring that up. And I think a lot more people are taking that. So let's stop beating that bush. I know that Xander, didn't you get a new laser?
Yeah.
Now you
I did.
got. We're going to go ahead and trade up here and go to equipment. Talk about guns a little bit more, and then we'll be switching over to some gadget and some. We wanted to talk prepping. Sierra 6 is going to call in and give us a woman's point of view on prepping. She is very, very pro prepping. Is that the right word? I wanted to comment on the laser though. Is that that's a Laser Max, correct?
Right.
And that's the one that replaces the guide rod.
Mhm.
Okay. Now a friend of mine, Ken Morgan, who is always believed to be my brother, he had one years ago that he put in. And if you didn't know, McLevin or Brian over there, but you're probably looking up t-shirts or something. Look up some deodorant, dude.
Wet t-shirts.
Oh, stop it. On guys? That's gross. So when we replaced his guide rod in his Glock, it spun. Okay, so and the laser was almost impossible to lollipop it on the front sight,
Mhm.
because it spun around, and when you'd fire it, it would spin around, and at 3 feet it was good, but at 30 feet it was off 2 feet. So before the show, I was talking to Xander about that, and he told me
How do you
that's
calibrate one of those things?
You don't. It's
Yeah.
parallel to the bore axis, and the guide rod itself is keyed to the barrel.
So the gun, where the
So-
bullet will hit, will always be where the
Point of impact, point of aim.
Right.
It depends on the distance, obviously, because you have to
Got
take in the
bullet drop.
ballistic
drop.
coefficient of the round itself. But no, this one, I'm not sure what model he was using it in. If it was a Beretta, then I can see it rotating because the tail cap has is not keyed.
Yeah, this was
in
a
the-
Glock.
It was
This
a Glock. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
for sure.
in the Glocks, the tail cap is all keyed, and all I
Mhm.
can say is he installed it wrong.
Well, now you got to remember this was probably about 10 years ago.
This particular
Mhm.
model has been around. It came out maybe a couple of years after the Glock 19 was released, so
Really?
that's 20
What's
odd years.
What was the price on this one, if you don't mind me asking?
Pardon me, I got a really good deal. They ranged, they're about $400
About
normally,
$400.
but I was looking on Amazon and I saw them used for 170. And
Oh,
I was
wow.
reading the ad, I noticed it shipped from Georgia. So I sent the
about that?
seller a message. Turns out it was Smyrna Pawnbrokers. who own-
SPD.
Yeah, they own
Yeah.
Smyrna Police Supply. The Smyrna Police Supply.
Yeah, that's where a
Yeah.
majority of all the Glocks in this country
Yeah.
have came out.
And it was the city of Atlanta had traded in their red lasers for
Mhm.
green ones. So I picked up one of their
Ooh.
red ones for total all in 170.
Oh, that's great. That's
Yeah,
great.
it's less than half price.
Yeah. Every
That's a great
Glock
deal.
I've ever owned came from SPD.
hmm
Because
But
if
I
you
had-
went up there and showed
yeah.
a badge, you got a hell of a deal.
I had one in my 27, and like I said, I carried that for 20 years,
Yeah.
and that thing, I mean, it never once rotated inside the gun.
How
So
about
you
that?
don't have to bore sight those at all. Then.
No, it's because it's parallel to the bore axis.
He just
it's,
loves saying
it's
that.
right there.
He loves saying parallel to the bore.
Well, because that's what it is. It's parallel to the bore axis.
yeah, but I mean,
So
come on,
it's,
just
um,
explain to them what that means.
If
what is the borax?
okay,
Yeah. See, he doesn't.
Yeah, he
the
has
bore
no clue.
the bore axis is the okay. So if you're looking down the barrel, right, whichever way the barrel is pointed, if you're looking straight through the barrel, that's your bore axis. If
No.
you were theoretically,
Talking about from the
that's
back
your
of the-
bore axis. So whatever angle that is on, if you're at if you're at 90 degrees, 180, whatever, the guide rod is always parallel. In other words, lined up identically from end to end,
I know.
equidistant.
I know what parallel
Okay,
means.
equidistant
Thank
from
you.
the bore
Jeez,
axis
I
of
like
the
it
barrel.
now. He's getting specific.
Yeah, you
So-
two get a room.
So
You're both pretty.
now they're they from the factory they say
Equidistant.
from the factory they say they're calibrated point of aim, point of impact at 20 feet, and that will vary the further out you go or the closer in you go. So the closer in you go, the laser is going to be below your point
Right,
of
the
impact.
round will hit up.
And the further out you go, it's going to be slightly higher than the point of impact. But when you consider the ballistics of a 9mm at 50 yards, it will be off by an inch.
Yeah.
So,
Well-
and these for me have been really accurate. I
Yeah.
mean, remarkably
Well,
accurate.
I know when
So for close in combat, it's
yeah.
perfectly acceptable.
Whenever I'm teaching firearms to someone who's just going to carry, they always ask. At some point, they always go, "How do you feel about a laser?" And I always go, "Well, look, you're just starting out. Just learn how to shoot with the iron sights, because that is the patent answer." But the thing about it is when you're scared to death, let me tell you something about a shotgun. Ghost rings, the big round circle, and a laser and a flashlight is a beautiful thing.
Mhm.
Because if you don't train, even if you do train, Jesus, even in combat, your throat, your heart is in your throat. But what I like to show people with a laser is probably the biggest thing is okay, if you're an avid shooter, you will turn that laser on, and I don't know, I can't remember how those turn on. So
It's the takedown lever with the laser. If I can get that front sight picture with the laser on or off, I'm focusing on that front sight.
okay.
Hard sight, front sight focus.
All right, folks, we
But
got to take the break.
It can come in a second.
Okay.
A
Yeah.
laser though is useful for if you're behind cover or
Right,
or if
yeah.
you're prone or
If you're concealed.
yeah, any position where you cannot get that hard
Right.
focus front sight picture.
Yeah.
That's where a laser comes in. It gives you in my opinion, it gives you an advantage in a lot of
I-
situations.
And I tell you what, if you can learn to shoot that thing wherever the laser is, it makes a hole. If you can get that mentality in your head, you can do amazing things.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have your sight picture right when you're laying down on the floor, and I like to teach people to, if they're scared to death, lay down by your door frame of your bedroom and relax. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And get behind the door so there's very little target. Man, if you got a laser and you can just, you see what I'm saying is you don't want it to be pointing all over the place and going all over the house and all that crap.
I
Man,
could
just
I could be under this table, which I would still have some sight.
Mhm.
I could bring the gun up above the table,
right.
just put that dot where I needed it to be, and
And
start
unload.
pressing the trigger.
And the beautiful thing about it is
That's
when
wonderful.
the round goes off, there's a lot of smoke, and then you got that whole act of valor Navy SEALs thing. You ready for a commercial there?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go to a commercial. We'll be right back. We're gonna talk about a couple of other lasers out there. This is Guns and Gadgets on Just for Fun Radio. I'm gonna go get a beer.
So am I.
I like it.
Oh,
You guys do it all the time.
what's that? Drink beer?
This is my first Guns and Gadgets.
Oh, man, I tell you what, you know what this does for me on Tuesday night? It lets me get a lot out. Because I can't really talk news on the morning. Not political stuff.
You want me to throw a song up there?
You're going to have to because we're all gone. We all left you.
No.
So let me ask you a stupid question. If I get a big place down here, you're going to be my roommate, or is that not a possibility anymore?
It's a high possibility.
All right, because I was looking at some places today, and there's some nice freaking houses.
Depending on how much rent would be,
Probably 500. Yeah,
by myself.
between 5 and 7, let's just say.
Now remember, I have another one coming with me.
Well, okay, so you would want to do 3 bedrooms or 2? Would you 3 bedrooms? If we all did like 5, we would have high-speed internet, cable, or satellite, power, water. Dude, I'm telling you, we'd probably get man. I saw some beautiful places for like $1,200. I mean, these are like
We'll talk.
full houses, you know. I'm just going to be kind of weirded out if I hear the headboard.
We don't get that crazy.
Now, see, I got a girl that wants to move in too, but I'm like,
I don't do women.
well, I told her, I know. I told her, I
I
said,
don't live with women.
I told her, I said,
This is my
I said,
grandmother.
Kim, sweetheart, you're beautiful, but one, God, she just about everything. Now, let me tell you something.
Why I don't live with women?
Let me tell you something. The carpet, the way the direction the carpet was going, she wouldn't like. You know, she wouldn't like how we were parking in the driveway. I mean, and I'm just like, got this other chick that wants me to move in with her down at Gulf Shores, but I can't be that far away from my sons.
I'm talking.
Yeah. So, and I know he's got to go to Lawrence. Right? So I tell you, I found a couple of freaking real nice ones. And, you know, certain neighborhoods I don't deal with.
Loganville's the best.
Logan, between
If you can
Logan.
get Loganville,
Yeah.
I'll be happy.
Man, I'm telling you, man, there's some freaking. I
Loganville,
was really surprised.
maybe a little bit more towards Monroe.
That's
if you wanna do that.
boy, I tell you what, if we could move all the way to Athens, holy crap.
That's only 10 minutes from where I work.
Man, let
but
me take some Monroe to
for-
Athens in between right there. You're talking about 2-3 acres, a 3-bedroom, freaking 2 full bath, freaking house, split level. It's crazy.
We'll talk.
Yeah.
So.
It's going to be a work in progress, but what you got here? Borax. What's a borax? I don't understand. Boss wants us to staff the show for a second. Dang. Finally got somebody dumb enough to play with you, or
Hey,
what?
buddy.
Easy. You could have brought your damn guitar tonight, and I would have been
No, I
freaking
couldn't if
pimping.
I was getting headstrong. I'm not
We're going
gonna
until 9:30 tonight
9:30. Yeah. We go from 19 to.
without music.
Hey, we got plenty of stuff to talk
All
about.
right.
Don't worry about that.
Well, okay. So I want to talk a little bit more about lasers, and then we got to start transferring over to prepping. Let me text Sierra 76. Where are you going?
So Stephen did link me to some news stories, and I mean there are a lot of guns coming in from it's obviously outside of Chicago because they don't have gun stores. Some are 20. They've traced 22% of the guns used in crimes to one particular gun store in the suburbs, but it's straw purchasers. And the thing is, straw purchasing is illegal. It's against the law. But last year, I think we prosecuted 3 people for straw purchasing. So here's the thing. If current laws don't prevent it, I'm not sure what new laws are going to do. Now, one of the articles suggested clamping down on straw purchasers, which I agree with. I think we should. It's illegal. It should be
seconds.
clamped down on completely.
Well, maybe talk about straw purchases.
What is well?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He can explain that. Because, look, you know what? Freaking gun shows and swap trades and all are the freaking grassroots of America, man. I love those things.
Yeah, and you know, if you go to a gun show and buy from a licensed dealer, you have to go through a background check,
Going
just
live
like
in
everybody
5,
else.
4, 3, 2.
All right there, ladies and gentlemen. It's Military Mike. It's Guns and Gadgets on Just for Fun Radio. Hey, just to let you
Where'd,
guys know. Oh,
Where'd Staff get up to?
Steph?
Staff Sergeant.
Staff, sorry. He's peeing.
Oh, is he?
Close that door.
Blimey.
Close that door. There, we don't want to echo the toilet. Kind of a small studio. Man, one day we're going to move to a big glass studio and people are going to drive by and see my sexy body, but yeah. No,
Dead sexy.
no, what else? Yeah, he does a good one. He does it excellent. No, I was going to say about Just for Fun Radio. Hey, we got the morning show. Every morning during the week there, Monday through Friday, 7:30 to about 10. We've been running over lately. I'm glad we're not paying by the minute. You know, like a daycare or something. Because I tell you what, the time. I was talking about it this morning. I'm one of the longest term morning guys right now. Scotty runs through us like underwear. And we were talking about that, and it was like, man, when I first started back in February, dude, it was forever to talk from 7:30 to 10. I mean, it was just grueling. People think this is the easiest freaking job in the world. I mean, it's just, and so, but now, holy smokes, man, we burn, and it's like 10, and then we got a phone call, and then we start talking about something else. You know, we're spreading out at 10:30. So our morning show is definitely something to listen to. Download our app. The easiest thing to do is go to our Just for Fun Radio page on Facebook. Monday through Friday, like I said, 7:30 to about 10. I'll just say it like that. Tuesday nights, obviously us right here, just burning up the airways about guns and gadgets tonight. Tomorrow night is Electric High with Aaron Hill and Steve Hill, which is Aaron is our local proverbial family member, little sister rock and roller. And she's my Joan Jett. If I was 20 years younger, I'd still be too old.
We're gonna have to play sometime.
Yeah, you and Aaron got to get together. You bet.
Hey, Aaron, if you're listening, we're gonna jam soon.
Yeah, Brian, and you, man, y'all are. He's old. You're young and talented.
I'm middle-aged.
He's middle-aged and washed up. And then, of course, Thursday night, which is our big flagship show on in the evenings, is Lady Stock with Doc. Man, you're not. They're not gonna let you on Lady Stock, dude.
No, this is our flagship show.
Hello.
Come on.
Okay, well, if that's the case, then
Bunch of ladies waffling on about their bras and periods. Who wants to listen to that?
And you know, I think that is the topic this week.
Is it really?
Bras and periods. Fucking bras.
Doc's gonna kill me. Okay, well, hey, I would love to be the flagship. I really would, but that's going to take a couple things on all of our parts.
Yeah, no, they have a good show, and they pack this place out.
Oh, geez, you know what? There's freaking people waiting to get on the show, and Doc has done an amazing job with organizing it, bringing in sponsors, as well as pushing out her schedule. You know, her programming schedule for like 6 months. And the thing about it is everybody that she's bringing in big names, man.
Yep.
Look who I'm bringing in. Brian McCleary.
Dirtbag.
Jeez. I mean,
it doesn't get any lower than this.
No.
I believe the term was batshit crazy.
Shit crazy.
Hey, but at least I wasn't a deserter.
Yeah.
That's right.
Or a tranny.
Yeah, Caitlin. I don't know where the hell that came from.
No, Bradley or Chelsea Manning.
Oh, I was talking about Caitlin. I hate Caitlyn Jenner, by the way. You just, oh man, I just can't stand that. Takes the news out. All right, so
her face warm your heart? No,
no.
Okay,
it doesn't warm anything on me.
Yeah,
I can tell you that.
God, that white dress when he or she was talking. Oh, okay, but Lady Talk Thursday nights. It's, you know what? I listen to the show. I can't lie. I freaking listen in. I watch YouTube while I'm doing some work.
Yeah, I've watched them on YouTube.
It's a good show. It really is. Once you get by the whole, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you. Once you get by all that,
they have
it's a good show.
They have some good discussions. I want to see Doc's wife come in, and
yeah,
but even if she did, I'm not allowed to call in.
I know we're not allowed to call in. We're not allowed to come in.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's kind of silly if you
well,
ask me.
You know what Scotty told me today is that I could come and sit in our green room over there for the Aaron Hill show, the Electric High, because that is a pretty cool show too.
I'm coming to that.
Did you see the young lady that was on here last week with Aaron Hill?
Mm-mm.
I'm sorry, I'm horrible with names. Oh my God, she was fantastic. She was jamming, on an acoustic guitar during one of the breaks, and I was just like listening, and then I'm like, wait, yeah, this is a break, and she sounds that good.
Hey, you did that at one of my shows, so don't lie.
I did, and the only reason I did that at your show is because, man, you knew the words to freaking Mustang Sally.
Rumor has it around. I know this.
That's one of the songs I do karaoke a lot, by the way.
That's right, baby.
Anyway,
But-
sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
there. I did mean to cut you off.
Yeah, you did.
Knob boy.
I'll mute you. I'm just kidding. Oh.
He's somebody at work suggested I just call you knob boy because you twiddle the knobs.
Oh my God!
I press the buttons.
I was told to mention a show that will be appearing on Monday nights pretty soon with DJ Smiles and Doc's wife, whatever her.
Really? What's the show?
I'm not sure. I just was told to.
I hope it's all social issues.
It might.
That'd be
Might be.
fantastic.
Well, one thing that we got to talk about too is that, okay, on our show, you're the engineer. Okay. McLovin is our engineer. And though tonight he's kind of, I don't know, he's kind of pale. He's not really into it too much tonight. We'll talk about that later. on Electric High, Steve, Aaron's father, is the engineer. Okay. And yeah, it's it's like watching a bear trying to tune a piano. It's ugly. It's ugly.
So it is going to be social issues.
It
Ask
is.
Scott if I'm allowed to call into that one.
No, wait. On Ladies Talk, Crystal is the engineer.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I don't know if y'all
DJ
know Crystal.
Smiles.
Yeah, DJ Smiles. Now, I'm absolutely infatuated with Crystal. I think everybody knows that. And I'm waiting for Scotty to die. And once he passes away, I'll be able to assume that role because
I think that's an Irish
Now,
tradition.
How much of a say in this does Crystal get?
it doesn't matter. Do you know what the smell of chloroform is? I mean,
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, so jumping straight to rape
Well,
then is what your
here,
plan
this
is.
is what I want. Crystal is all about traveling and all. She's probably the first one's going to start screaming when I throw in the trunk. But traveling is traveling. Okay, I mean, come on. No,
That's
Crystal is one of these women that can walk into a room and change the entire dynamics of the room, regardless of what size or what's going on in the room. She's amazing. She truthfully is. Scotty's a lucky man. She married down. All right. So
He's a step downer.
And I'm Knob Boy.
He's a step down transformer. So and I know
So he's
Crystal
like
and
ghetto. Caitlyn
I'll tell you,
Jenner.
there's a good lineup of shows on this station.
I tell you what, it's really cool to see. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it was a show that was very late at night, and it was 180 degrees out. It really was. It was just kind of like crazy, rough edge stuff, rock and roll, screaming, yelling, drinking beer, cussing, to a business, we have all the roots. We've got all the stuff planted, and now it's kind of like, the host of each show is responsible for growth and material and stuff like that. And
Well, I'm looking forward to Mondays, and if Doc is listening, text us the name of Doc's wife so that we can get
Benny.
that straight over there.
Benny.
Benny?
Yeah.
Okay.
Benny.
So and it'll be Benny and whom hosting
And,
the show?
DJ Smiles, aka Crystal.
Okay.
now that's a show on Monday.
Monday.
I didn't even know what it was.
And that's called
Is that the one?
They're going to touch on, Scott confirmed they will touch on social issues.
Social issues.
Oh.
No name
What
yet.
I know he was.
Oh.
He might have just been beating me down. Scotty has like a part-time job or a spare time job. It's called Abuse Mike.
we all have that job.
But I mean, because you called in the other day, and you should hear him when he calls in. Oh, let me go ahead and correct you guys.
Well,
Or,
I mean,
love the way
you
this
were
starts.
butchering every fact that you guys came out
I
with.
was.
Oh God!
We were just above the step of
I
Fox
was
News,
not
so I
doing
think
it.
we're okay.
I was not doing it.
I don't have any experience with him fudging any facts at all whatsoever.
I don't think it was my
There's
fault.
149 soldiers that have been trained. I'm telling you, it's not a lie.
Shut your face.
Seriously, we're at 100%. No kidding, sir. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
I'm not lying.
Anyway, let's if we can, let's go back to what we were talking about, Chicago, because you know what, you brought it up.
I
You
know,
wanted to
but-
talk about Chicago, so
Damn
let's
it,
get the
man.
facts out there.
All right.
So I have 3 or 4 more sources that Steven sent me, and I've been reading through these stories,
Okay.
and a lot of it makes absolute sense that the guns are coming into Chicago from other places, because Chicago is very strict on gun shops, right? You can't
Yeah.
really buy a gun in Chicago. So in one investigation, they found that 22% of the guns used in crimes are being traced back to one particular gun shop in the suburbs, which is which indicates straw purchasing. Right.
What is
And
straw purchasing?
So straw purchasing is when somebody goes in and they're buying guns purportedly for themselves, but then they're turning around and selling them to other people.
Well, now I'd like
which is against the law. Whenever you
There's-
fill out your federal
I
forms,
was about to
the
say.
question is right there. Do you certify this gun is for you? And only, it doesn't say you and only you, but that's the
Well, it
the
says
law.
without the intent of
Yeah.
reselling.
Yeah. So
So-
straw purchasing is illegal. But the thing is, so people say, well, this means we have to have new laws to prevent straw purchasing. Well, it's already illegal.
Yeah.
And the law is already being ignored. Last year, I believe we prosecuted 3 people for straw purchasing.
That's
It's,
crazy.
I have
Three
a
whole people.
question related to this. Now, I had a former in-law, a former family member. We'll say former at this point.
Yep.
So it's probably dead.
Well, no, they're not dead. They're
Yeah.
just dead to me. But anyhow,
Alrighty then.
it was a
There you
much
go.
older person, a senior person, and they knew about my quote expertise, at least in handling firearms. I'm not a firearms expert, but I would be considered an expert to a layman. And he wanted
It's only 2.5 hour show, bro.
he wanted advice, he wanted help, he wanted to buy the right firearm for him and his purposes.
Mhm.
And we went shopping, and he decided, he went through the whole process and found one that was good for him. And I made the purchase. Now after that, there were no transactions. I think I did, as a matter of fact, I do remember doing a bill of sale to him
Yeah.
for $1.
Yeah, I went through something similar recently, and I actually checked with a sheriff's deputy before any of this happened, because I wanted to buy and use a Smith & Wesson Shield, right? So I
Right.
went out and bought it, and I bought it for myself. And about a week or two later, I decided to sell it to a friend. So I approached the sheriff and I said, is this illegal?
straw
Would this be
purchase, yeah.
considered a straw purchase? And they said, well, did you purchase it with the intention of selling it, illegally to somebody else? I said, no, I bought it for me. I wanted to use it. I wanted to try it. He said, well, then that's fine. So I got a bill with, the transaction was with a bill of sale, and, we exchanged carry permits and everything was above board. But it did concern me because only 2 weeks prior I had signed that I was buying the gun for me, which I was.
Right.
And I was thinking, well, now am I in violation of some kind of law by selling it on? So I checked with the sheriff, and they said no, as long as it's your intent at the time of purchase.
Right.
To keep it. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're buying it for you and your intention is to have it, and my intention was for me to have the gun, it was just something I decided to sell on because, it didn't work for me.
So I guess I have to publicly admit that I have been a part of a straw purchase then.
Well,
Because
did you buy it for you?
Well, no.
Would he have passed a background check?
Absolutely. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. I think the more the situation was, he was concerned about getting a firearm. I mean, obviously he was close to 70 years old at this time.
Mhm.
But this was a personal protection type thing. I'll go ahead and tell you, it was my ex-wife's grandfather. And he did not have any firearms in the home that he lived in. There had been some questionable things going on in the neighborhood that he was living in, and he felt like he needed to buy a firearm in order to protect himself.
Mhm.
But he wanted to get one that he could handle, one that he could he could sustain and actually fire in a situation where he was threatened.
So if I were to interpret that situation, you bought the gun for yourself so that he could try it, so that he didn't make a bad purchase decision.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, in that case, again, I'm not a lawyer, but based on what I spoke to the sheriff about, you're buying the gun for yourself. He's able to try it. Now, I in that situation, I probably would have gone to the gun range and rented some guns and
Right.
let him shoot rentals.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't see any problem with what you did because you then transferred it legally.
Right. Absolutely. There was a bill of sale
Yeah.
written up for
Man,
that.
I tell you
gun.
Yeah.
what,
And
in-
and as
in
the,
this
and,
day and
and like the
age.
deputy said to me, it comes down to your intent at the
Yes.
time of
Yeah.
purchase.
But here, I'm
So
gonna- I'm gonna
anyway,
tell you
these
something.
guys in Chicago,
Yeah.
they're buying them up with the intent of selling them illegally for
Yeah.
profit. One guy was taking orders for tens of thousands of dollars worth of guns, going and buying them at other places, coming back and selling them on
Yeah.
for a massive profit.
is
So, but the thing is, extra laws won't prevent that because
Absolutely
we
not.
already have
But
straw
here's
purchase
my
laws.
question
all.
on that,
Not
and
at
then
all.
we're going to have to move on to prepping here soon. But here's my question on that: is even if he's buying a used weapon, okay, he still have to fill out the paperwork. Now he's not going to have to go through the background checks if he's got a permit,
Right.
Okay, but he's still filling out that paperwork, and that paperwork is audited by the ATF. If they see multiple purchases,
Right. Now, here's the thing. One thing and again, I'm not in favor really of any gun controls. But if you're going out and you're buying 30, 40 guns at a time,
Mhm.
that might require
Red
a
flag.
little extra scrutiny. Yeah,
Well-
that's a red flag.
You know, there's even quasi limitations on ammunition. You know, and for good reason, because I mean, you remember Green?
Oh yeah,
Okay, Green had
staff sergeant,
yeah.
goofbag.
What he's having now.
Oh no!
oh, yeah.
Oh no!
Oh, hey, get this. Every bit of 250,000 rounds at his house.
Yeah, he is
And
not a
that
person.
buddy is running low.
Yeah,
Buddy, let me tell you something though. I mean, it was right next to the acetylene tanks.
yeah, but this guy,
That's fine.
he was a real smart one. He was
Yeah.
anyway. If you're listening, Green, I
No,
love
I know
you,
he's-
buddy.
I'm
You're
not
gonna
worried
die
about him. Yeah, I'm not worried about him.
soon.
You know, but yeah, I mean, 250,000 rounds.
That could be
For a
perceived as a
homeowner.
threat. Clarify that real quick.
No,
He's going to
no.
die by his own
Oh,
own
no,
art
no,
and
of
no.
natural causes
Okay.
or natural
Or stupidity.
or stupidity.
Darwinism
Yes,
is what you
absolutely.
mean. Okay.
Dude, I got to tell you, this
You ever
guy,
heard
Thank
of the
you.
Darwin
this guy-
Awards?
this
Yeah,
guy,
yeah.
yeah, this guy's a psychopath. But I tell you what, you never saw that recovery mission he did on the side of the hill? Oh my God, there was an MRAP that was starting to slide down a hill,
Mhm.
and you got to know an MRAP weighs what, freaking 12 tons, and
And
this
he was good at his job.
this guy freaking rappelled down, tied it off to two vehicles, had both vehicles moving at the same time, and it was
And
just
pull-
like, holy crap. Yeah, he got like a bronze star for that because
Hey.
it was in a combat. I mean,
Right, but why go to all that trouble just to save a piece of equipment?
so that we could leave it
Did they
there for
need
the
it? Yeah,
town.
exactly. Because you're just
Exactly.
going to leave it. You're just going to leave it in theater anyway.
Just
Right.
so we can leave it there. Yeah, okay. Oh, I hate when that happens. What? Oh, you and your timer. Jesus, he's like a freaking
Anyway, I
Commercial
wanted to
Nazi.
throw that out there. I wanted to present both sides of the argument because there is a
Okay.
case to be made for straw purchasers.
okay,
I agree.
let's say that Bob is buying all these guns, doing all these straw purchases. Then he's coming into Chicago and he's selling these
Yeah,
weapons, correct?
because there's a huge market for them.
Okay, so he's trafficking firearms.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's a gun
gunslinger.
trafficker. Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
federal criminal.
Yeah. Well, I
And,
mean, I
um,
used to gun run too. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I
And the
mean,
thing
ah,
is,
geez.
we haven't been prosecuting these people. There's
Okay.
there's really been no deterrent to them. There's
Yeah.
been no repercussion. Now, I believe the reason for that is because they want it to continue, so they have the statistics on their side, so they can push for even tougher gun controls.
That's
And
good.
That's
funding.
me. I'm a cynic.
I know, but isn't
and
it?
funding for that gun control.
But wait.
Right.
Isn't it a freaking proven fact that more stringent gun laws do not
They do
deter
nothing. They
crime?
don't deter crime.
Look at Kennesaw. It's actually a law that says you must own a firearm. Each
Right.
household must own a firearm. They
Right.
don't have much crime up there, buddy.
I think they've had one murder in 25 years.
Yeah, that's crazy. And you know what? I have
And-
you ever seen
And
these people?
by the way, home invasions,
Yeah.
the lowest rate of home invasion in the nation.
Yeah. Because let me tell you, you got to have a set to do a home invasion.
Mhm.
You think about, I mean, we've been on some missions, right? I mean, you got to have a set to go into a house that you know people are in
Mhm.
because of the variables there. You got to really be desperate. Now, let me tell you something. I mean, there's just no criminals are criminals, but they ain't stupid. And how about these people that put the freaking signs in their lawn that say this is a gun-free home?
Yeah.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, I don't know that many people do that. I've seen little memes on
Yeah,
Facebook and
I
things like
rob
that.
you just. to
I'm
show
not
you.
sure how real they are, but no. What honestly, what gets me the most is the people who are most vocal
Uh-huh.
about taking guns away from us are people that are protected by guns 24/7,
Absolutely.
and that annoys
Yeah.
the piss out of me.
Yeah. Well, how
You know,
about, how
I'll
about
tell you what.
this,
I'll tell you what. You give up your armed security and
Yeah.
send it to me, right?
Yeah.
You pay for me to have 24/7
I'll
armed
give up my
armed
gun.
protection, and I'll gladly give you my guns.
Absolutely. But I can tell you this too is man, I hate seeing like Feinstein, whatever the hell her name is, up there friggin' with tears rolling down her cheeks and her going assault rifles, this and that. She doesn't even know what the hell an assault rifle is.
She's an opportunist.
Yeah,
That's all she is.
freaking clue what the hell one looks like.
Yeah.
And you know what? Just because I grab it this way instead of that way, I mean, damn.
Who was it? Who was it that said never let good tragedy go to waste?
Shakespeare.
No, it could have been.
Alan
It's
Jackson.
it was some Democrat, I think.
Alan Jackson.
But that's how they are. I mean, you get a tragic
Yeah, that
incident.
was a #1 hit, wasn't it?
A tragic incident happens, and the Democrats are all over it. Again, get out, register to vote,
Right.
join the NRA.
Yep.
There are instructions on Guns and Gadgets on how to join for $10 a year.
$10
They need the
associates.
numbers. It's not necessarily the money. They need the membership, because with millions and millions more members, they will be taken more seriously, and our gun rights will never be in question.
And you know what? I heard Sean Hannity today doing a commercial for Concealed Carry America, CCA, I think. And
Yeah, USCCA.
USCCA. And
Yeah, that's who I recommend, by the way,
yeah.
for concealed carry insurance.
Man.
Liability. Effectively, it protects you
Well,
legally.
he gave it's just a story, I'm sure, but it was an example about somebody defending a neighbor. Now, I was a licensed private investigator so that we could do security, because in the state of Georgia you have to, and you cannot protect someone else with a firearm unless you're under contract. Okay, and that's just the way. And you can't protect other people's property.
You can as a civilian, though.
Well, yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying is,
He
as
was
a
for hire.
licensed
He
private
was for hire.
investigator,
But
you have to be under contract.
right, but okay, there are two aspects to that.
Right.
When you're on the job, yes.
Right.
When you're not on the job, the same rules apply to you. The same forcible felony rules apply
Right.
to you as apply to every other citizen
And
in Georgia.
it's the same old thing, is that if you are licensed, that means you've gone through training, which means they're going to hold you to a higher standard.
And again, unless you're acting as a civilian,
Right. Well, now as a civilian, I can't protect his property with a firearm.
you can protect life and property from a forcible felony with a firearm.
I disagree.
Doesn't matter where you are.
I disagree.
I mean, that's just
Yeah.
the law in Georgia.
Well, we'll look that one up because I disagree.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
because
that is the law in Georgia.
now what Sean Hannity was talking about was neighbor was, I think, getting beat up or assaulted.
Mhm.
Guy goes outside, draws his weapon, doesn't fire it, but when the cops show up, the guy goes, "Yeah, I brought what? Shut up.
Shock and all.
No, the guy tells the cops, "Yeah, I looked out the window. He was getting beat up. I came out with my firearm and I pointed at him. They took off running. I never fired a shot or anything.
Shock and all, baby.
They locked him up.
Where was he?
Oh, I like I said, it's just a story.
See, in Georgia,
So-
Georgia, you won't get locked up for that because you're preventing a forcible felony.
Yes.
And that's
assault and battery.
yeah, and that's the only criteria in Georgia. Are you presented with a forcible felony that's a threat to life?
Okay,
But
so
what-
and
how do
now
you
here's my
know-
question. Yeah,
How do you know it's a forcible felony? What
Assault-
constitutes?
Assault and battery is
Okay.
a forcible.
but how do I
felony.
know that's okay? How do I know that's a felony?
What if they're just wrestling in the front yard?
I'm not a lawyer.
Hey, are they wrestling oiled up, naked?
You know, this
or
is
are
where-
they-
This is this.
I'm
I mean,
asking
this
you.
is where.
Ooh,
I don't,
Sal.
I don't know what kind of
This
Saturdays
is
you
that-
have.
listen. There's no answer for. There's no one answer for any given situation, right? This
Right.
is why we train. This is why we go to classes. This
Playing
is
devil
why
advocate.
we train for different scenarios. Because you're right. What if it's just two people messing around wrestling in the yard?
Right.
That's when you have to use a little restraint, a little common sense, and try to figure out what's going on. But in a situation like that, that's when you call the police.
You just
Right.
you can't just
Right.
pull a gun.
If
on
there's
someone.
if it's an imminent threat to you or a loved one or a person with you or around you, if it's an imminent threat to your life, then you have you are able to act in Georgia, and you are immune from prosecution in Georgia.
That's right.
Right.
It's called assessing the threat.
there was a guy who got
Threat
his car
assessment.
carjacked, or he was
Yeah,
he was
that's a
being
forcible felony.
he was being carjacked, and the guy pulled out his weapon and said, "You messed with the wrong person today. Now get on the ground."
Oh yeah, I
Yep.
saw that.
And
video.
held
Yeah.
held him
Held him
there
there.
until the
Until the
cops
cops,
got
yeah.
there.
And when the cops showed up, they were laughing.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful.
They
Slap
gave him a
some
high
cuffs on
five.
him.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
nice thing is
but-
he didn't have to shoot anybody.
Exactly. That's the point I want to make there.
It in
There was
McDonald's.
no rounds discharged in that particular instance.
I know, but
Now, that's something to say about gun control and gun rights. That is the I think one of the foremost deterrents of crime
Mhm.
is just carrying the firearm.
Yeah.
Listen, shock and awe has been a strategy that the U.S. military has used for years and years. Listen, we will scare you to death. And it worked in 2003. That was my first
Yep.
deployment. We had people, capitulating and running. We didn't have to combat them.
Yeah, this I'm going to tie this back into Chicago now because they now have to issue. Well, they don't have to. They now have a concealed carry law in Chicago.
Do them.
Yeah, it's not a shall issue. It's not a must issue or whatever they call it. It's a may issue state, and they haven't issued that many permits. And I'm sure the ones who get the permits are the privileged few.
Right.
But it was either last week or the week before, a concealed weapons permit holder in Chicago used his gun to defend his life. And as that becomes more prevalent, that's when you'll start to see Chicago's crime rates go down.
That's what I was going to say too, is that it's the same thing of if people know that there is a firearm in your house, they're going to skip that house.
Exactly. It's a deterrent.
Like I said, they're criminals, but that doesn't make them stupid.
Yeah, it's
mean,
it's like John Lott said, more guns, less crime. And it's a fact. And if you go to I believe it's crimeresearch.org, which is John Lott's website, you can see every statistic available right there, which, the evidence is overwhelming. More guns, less crime.
Sometimes I get a little spooked by all the stats.
Crime prevention research, maybe.
You want to do a couple commercials? When we come back, we'll talk about prepping. Let's do some prepping, baby. Sounds like a winner. Everybody good? Anything else? Last call for alcohol on gun control issues. What you got? B? Anything?
No, I just think that having a gun and being upfront about it, and I know several states. One particular I can think of, Cochise County, Arizona, where most everybody walks around with a pistol. That's not a concealed carry. That's a unconcealed. But there's
open.
It's open carry, and they don't have a crime rate, people.
Well, it's like Utah. They have constitutional carry. It's permitless carry.
Right.
Their crime rates are pretty low. I mean,
Plus Mormon.
yeah,
Yeah,
not
you've
sure
never
that.
seen the Amish,
I'm not really sure that has much to do with it, but it might.
You've never seen the Amish mafia.
Hey,
Yeah.
they've got 8 wives. Okay.
I mean,
My last
don't
word on
cuss at
gun
you, they
control
Yep.
is go out, register to vote, join the NRA, and protect your rights because no one's going to protect them for you.
Roger that. McLevin, you got anything to say about gun control?
Make sure you shoot what you're aiming at.
Oh God, I was gonna say practice with both hands.
Yeah.
Because
No, well, okay.
I
That
say
works in
Yeah,
a
okay.
lot of
I see what you're
situations.
saying. You're not saying both together at one time, just
no, I
strong
say,
hand weekend. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
say practice. Let me tell you something. When you're gonna have to use that thing is when the damn wall is on the right hand
Yeah.
side
Yep.
and you're right handed and you're gonna go, wait a minute. I've never shot weak handed. Oh, come on.
Yep.
And let me tell you something. It's very tough when you start, but give it just some training.
Yep, and
And
shooting with your weak hand,
shoot
just
with
like
your
a stranger doing it.
And then yeah, it's just
All right.
like
Well, with that, we're gonna go off to a commercial.
All right, guys, it's Guns and Gadgets. When we come back, we're going to talk about a little prepping, and we're going to get a call from Sierra 6. She's going to give us a woman's point of view on prepping
stranger.
and getting ready. All right, what else we got? We good? Let's do some commercials there,
We'll be
McLovin.
right back on Just for Fun Radio.
Just for fun.
I like it. That's right. I usually sit on my hand, right?
Where were you when they built that ladder to heaven?
I have to run and grab my juice out of the car.
Grab your juice. A minute and a half, but don't worry.
Grab your juice. Okay, here's her number.
I'm gonna see call.
Yeah, we'll call her.
Can we add more?
Hmm?
Park. Hold on. Maybe.
You know what? Scotty was making fun of Team America today. We were talking about best movies and worst movies.
It's a pretty stupid movie. It's hilarious, but it's stupid.
And then they were knocking the fact that I watch cartoons. Let me tell you something. Archer is funny as hell.
Yeah.
I could do episodes on Archer.
We need to get some bear claws.
Okay, or snacks. I love those.
Part of Archer. Remember?
I was gonna get some freaking pepperoni
Pam
pizza.
eats
Huh?
bear claws. Pam from Archer
Yeah.
eats bear claws. It's like
Oh.
her thing.
Oh, really?
Do you not watch Archer?
She eats bear. I know she does a lot of cocaine.
You must have seen the recent ones.
Well, I haven't seen the last season. I'm holding off on last season. I just
of what?
Gotta
Archer.
go. Come on, it's
Archer?
funny to pick
Fucking
on
love
him and
Archer.
his cartoons.
is that Scotty? You ever
Dirty
Archer is funny as hell. I'm Archer. Yeah, man. Archer, me and my kids.
Starting in 30 seconds.
Me and Santino watch South Park until freaking 2 a.m. You know,
That's what I'm watching. The Awesomes.
I saw it. I don't.
It's on Hulu. It's decent.
See, like Family Guy. Couldn't do it. What was that other one about the guy that sold the propane gas?
King of the Hill.
Yeah, never got into it.
All right, we're on in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, you know what? It's Guns and Gadgets. It's Just for Fun Radio. It's 20:46 in the evening on a Tuesday night, and both of my co-hosts are gone. One's piddling, and the other one's piddling with himself. All right, Xander's back.
We're live.
Ginger, yes,
Yeah,
we are
we're
live,
live.
and Ginger Snap's
Sorry about
back.
that.
Oh, no problem, no problem. We're kind of doing the
Quit
breaks there. So
at the Point Percy at the porcelain.
Point.
That's
Percy.
that's a British idiom.
It's got to be.
It is
Wow. Hello, wanker.
basically taking a slash.
Hello, governor.
But here's
They
the
don't
thing,
say
man.
that.
Is I've told him ever since I've known him, dude. Say you're an Aussie. Say you're from Australia, man.
You get some
I
bad
don't
boys.
like
man.
Australians are troublemakers.
They are.
oh
You
yeah,
bad
boy.
British
Fucking
are right
people.
there on the
All right,
keel.
All right. So, do you remember the '96 Olympic Games here in Atlanta?
Yes, I went to them.
No,
Do you remember? Okay.
He probably wasn't born
I was
yet.
1 year old.
All right. Well,
Jesus Christ.
He was one.
they disrupted. Not only did the Australians disrupt the opening ceremonies, they disrupted the closing ceremonies.
Because they were drunk.
they
right?
they're drunk and nothing but trouble.
So
So you get bad boy cred. That's what we're trying to
Man,
say.
dude.
I don't want bad boy cred.
chicks dig him already.
Hell yeah.
That's all
I'm
there is
Team
to it.
UK. I'm on your side.
Thank you.
That chicks dig 'em.
Oh, speaking of Great Britain. Oh, guess what happened today?
Oh, the Queen.
At 6:30
is the lo-
p.m. At
is the-
6:30 p.m.
The
Greenwich
longest
Mean Time,
reigning-
the Queen became the longest reigning
Reigning.
monarch.
Yeah.
God
Well-
bless her.
Yeah, she's like what?
God,
She's-
82.
I thought you hate her.
God bless. No, I love the Queen. Are you
Most-
kidding me? I love the
A
Queen.
lot of Brits that I talk to hate the
I
Queen.
thought you didn't
Oh,
like
no,
her.
I
Call
love-
her,
I love the
quote, a
Queen.
No.
tax thieving bitch.
No, well, they're unpatriotic traitor heathens
Hey,
that should have their nuts cut off and put in their mouths.
let me
Is
tell
what they
you,
are.
Well, okay, well, let's. I
I've,
mean,
s-
no
I've
reason to
served with some
sugarcoat it. there,
Brits.
Xander.
I've served with some Brits,
Yeah, same here.
and no kidding, they are very protective
Mhm.
of the Queen.
Man, well,
Notwithstanding,
I guess
she's
it's the
their
younger
commander.
genera-
She's their commander,
It
but
might be the
Yeah.
younger generation.
I heard she makes like
It is, but that younger oh god, those younger
Like
people.
not
are
my
awful.
younger, but just
Awful
just
fucking
above
people.
me.
Yeah.
Speaking of the younger generation, I believe my nephew is coming over for New Year's.
Well, there
Bring
you
him
go.
on.
Got to bring him onto the show.
I will. He's a professional golfer.
Awesome.
He's on the
Shit.
he's
on the British tour.
no, the PGA.
PGA,
Wow.
very sweet, sweet. Good
that's
deal.
hey, you know,
Impressive.
Scotland is where that shit was invented. You know?
Yeah,
St.
St.
Andrews.
Andrews, man. Come on now, don't act stupid.
Georgia's where it's
Dimples.
Praised.
All right, hey, we're gonna switch themes here. We're gonna go off to prepping. All right, and But Brian, you're here with us tonight. It's kind of a new thing for us. You didn't get to talk about your rifle. I'm sorry.
Well, let's talk about it. That's part of prepping.
No worries. We can.
Oh my God. Would you really prep with that rifle though? Jeez.
Hey,
I mean,
listen, it is puts a lot of rounds down range.
okay.
man.
So what kind of rifle is it? We'll do this.
Uh,
We'll play your stupid game.
It's a Mosin Nagant, man.
Nagant.
Yeah, Nagant.
It's
That's
just
right,
like
sorry,
Picatinny
Nagant.
It's like
tails.
German.
Yeah, Picatinny rails. Nobody knows how to say it.
A
Right?
German gun.
Where's it from?
It's actually a Russian rifle.
It is.
There were a lot of those made.
It was a predecessor to the SKS, wasn't it? If I remember
absolutely
correctly.
it was, and it is
Piece of
well
crap.
it's a rare caliber today. It wasn't a rare caliber prior to today, but it's the one I have is a 7.62 by 5.4.
Mm-hmm.
Is it illegal to carry a rifle in my trunk
No.
without
No.
a license?
Oh wait, yeah, you're 19. Yeah, you're 19.
I
You
thought
know
it was 18 for a rifle, 21 for a handgun.
Yeah, but he does not need a rifle, is what I'm getting at.
I don't want.
Everyone-
It's a little,
Everyone needs a rifle.
it's actually a little too
Michael.
late for that. It's
No.
actually a little too late for that. I was going to bring it in.
No.
So have you done any accuracy work to it?
Not at all. Actually, it was a gift from a family member. It was kind of passed over to me.
Well, it's amazing when his family members get arrested, he calls it a gift.
Yeah, right. Hey, take this for me. I don't want them to see it. Just take
You're
it.
going to jail for life. Hey, we're gonna split up your stuff. Hey,
Man.
look, it's like Christmas.
It was really funny. But anyhow,
3 Christmases.
it was a very interesting piece. I was speaking to another firearms enthusiast earlier in the week, this week, and they decided that it's not a very rare rifle, as there were hundreds of thousands, maybe
Yeah,
even
they're
more.
they're
so
readily available.
Well,
now
he's
at
got a
good
carbine.
prices.
right.
He's got
which-
one of the carbines.
which
So-
that model is a little. I mean, it's not rare, but it's a
Yeah.
little more rare than the long rifle
Yep.
itself.
Yeah, it's kind of like me having A negative blood.
Right.
You know, it's not common, but it ain't rare.
Right.
So-
but it was just a neat piece of history that I didn't really realize that I had. It fires, which is surprising to me. It was just a really neat sort of family heirloom. I guess you could call it a relic. It looks like, from the research that I've done, that it was made around 1955, which doesn't make it one of the rarer versions of that. But one of the coolest parts of it is, from what I understand, a lot of the parts, and some of these were made in Finland, some of these were made in Russia, some of these were made for a Chinese a test run, and I have a couple of and all of those have many of the parts on those, the bolts and whatnot. There's not really a whole lot of moving parts to it.
Mhm.
It's much like an M14. It's got a completely wooden body, stock, and upper receiver is one piece.
Well,
But-
the big thing with that was it was truthfully designed for one purpose and one purpose only: ease of putting rounds down range.
that's right,
Yeah, I mean,
and
it's just-
durability.
that's
That
it.
thing will.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
And it's loud. Jesus, they're loud.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And it probably shoots about a 4 to 6 inch flame out of the barrel. So there's no secret when you're firing it.
Mhm.
You know what
um,
that flame is for?
What's that?
Lighting cigarettes.
I hear you.
Yeah, man. Russians
that
smoke a lot.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know if you've ever seen the YouTube channel Iraq Veteran 8888.
I don't.
The guy's name is Eric. He works at Moss Pawn and Gun down over in Forest Park.
That's a good place.
He
I've
has
been there.
he has his own YouTube channel. He's a big fan of the Mosin, and he did a whole series on accurizing the Mosin.
Yeah, because it's
and
very
he was-
tough.
I-
It's
I-
very tough.
If I remember rightly, he was hitting out to 1,000 yards
Good
consistently
Lord. That's
after
awesome.
after the work he did to it.
Isn't that the same
Well worth
round that
watching,
was,
by the way. Look that up.
I
Yeah,
think
but-
that's the same round the SVD uses too, the Dragunov.
Yeah, and mine in particular is very inaccurate. I'd like to put that out there since you were talking about accuracy tests.
That's what I was saying. Have you
I'm-
done any accuracy
I'm,
work
I'm
to it?
not sure if I'm not sure if I've hit anything that I've tried to shoot with it. However, I know that rounds were going down range.
Mhm.
But it's a nice piece of nostalgia for me, and it was neat to get to learn a little bit more about it. And the one of the cool things about the piece that I have is these were made in several different places or manufactured for several different countries. And the piece that I have has some Chinese markings on the upper receiver, and on the bolt itself, it actually has Russian nomenclature on it.
Mhm.
So that lends itself to the fact that, you know, these parts for these rifles were interchangeable, which I think is a pretty neat thing. I don't know, some of the gun enthusiasts in here can
Well,
They're nice guns, and they're also pretty guns.
Yes,
it's
yeah.
a beautiful looking rifle.
it-
I mean, I love all that whole wood stock, all everything about it
Yeah.
is. You oil that up and get it looking nice. It's a pretty gun.
just not my thing. You know, I like the tactical stuff. I could care less about the
it's not
anti-relic
very
run.
it's not very tactical. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
It's heavy as hell.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you know
so
what? That's
so you don't get any like an M1 Garand that
Well-
doesn't do anything for you.
well, that's different.
It's not different,
It is different.
It's very similar.
That
actually.
is that's
right? So I mean,
well, no. In all
Springfield.
honesty, I
it's
mean,
fed differently.
okay, if
but
somebody had the M1 or a 14,
Springfield.
and then they had a 700 tricked out, I'd go
Mhm.
with 700. I would.
I
Yeah.
I can't argue with that.
You know what? The 1 and the 14 are excellent weapons, Jesus, but God knows 23, 25 pounds loaded.
Yeah, but I'm talking
Yeah.
about now from just an aesthetic viewpoint.
right.
I'm
A
not
collector.
talking. Yeah, as
collector.
a collector,
Yeah.
I would love an M1.
Really?
Yeah,
If I had the
if
choice
I had a
between
700, I would use it. I mean, that
Yeah.
I would shoot
well,
that.
like
gun.
let's say an H&K 93. If you had like a PSG 1
Right,
set up, as opposed to a M14 that's tricked out, which would you take?
I'd take the PSG.
Every day of the week.
Yeah, every day of the
Twice
week.
on
Of course I
Sunday.
would, but I
Yeah.
like to shoot my guns. If I were a collector, though,
Yeah.
I mean that's a toss up because I mean PSG 1, that's a rare gun to find here in the States.
Yeah.
But as a
It's a bad boy.
collector, I mean, if I were a collector of
Mm-hmm.
firearms, one of my first would be an M1.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, you can get them.
Yeah, you
buy
can.
'em. You
Yeah.
buy 'em. Well, you know what? We do have to transfer into prepping here, and I wanted to make sure that everybody understands we are talking about prepping, and we brought up a rifle, and you know what? Probably one of the biggest things, one of the top 10 mistakes that are made in prepping is their firearms. Because
Absolutely.
look, there's some people that say, "Oh, I'm not going to have a firearm at all. I'm just going to have a knife." Dude, you're going to die.
And a bag of rice. I'm gonna have
Yeah.
a knife and a bag of rice.
So, relying on just 1 or 2 rifles or just 1 or 2 pistols, I think is a huge mistake. What I'd like to do before it gets too much later is if we go ahead and call Sierra 6, and she's going to give us a woman's point of view on starting up on prepping. But you know what? And she's a pretty avid shooter, but I'm interested to see if she has a rifle in her prepping.
And what caliber?
Yeah, because I know she shoots pistols now.
She's
the
a
girl.
woman though.
Well, she's one, and her daughter shoots too, and she's just a little bitty thing. But the thing about it is doesn't that make sense? I mean, okay, for me, I know why the U.S. Army used 45 caliber, because we didn't want to use what the Germans were using in 9mm. But then somebody said, "Hey, if they're using 9mm, we're using the 9mm." So that's why I'm all about the 9mm. I think if I'm going to have to go raiding houses and stuff like that,
It's going to be the most prevalent
yeah.
available RAM for
Alrighty.
sure.
We're gonna go ahead and call.
All right, let's
Sierra
go ahead.
6.
Yeah, let's see if we can get her on the phone. You never know, man. She might be out prepping. She might be able putting her go-to bag together or something like that.
Or burying a time capsule. I'm just saying. It's
Let's see.
important.
The phone is ringing. She's probably like 5 minutes. Jeez, that was 20 minutes ago, Mike.
It says Oklahoma.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. There's she does travel around a lot. She's
I heard the wind goes rushing down the glades there.
the wind goes rushing. All
That was a little Broadway joke.
Okay, well,
As
She
the
was-
wind comes sweeping down the plain.
she was driving down the road, so
I'm sorry.
I'm
but the
sorry.
person
Okay, go ahead. She'll probably call us back. You know what the next thing is it's funny is that you brought it up last week when we were talking about prepping. Is that you have a specific place to go?
hmm
Now
I do too.
do you
by the
really?
way. Yes, I do.
Wow. I don't. Yes, I do. I'm lying.
You can go with me.
No, I would never. I do have a place to go, but it's with other family members. It's kind of a rally point, like a rendezvous type thing.
And where do you go from there?
Well, that's where we would hold it, and it's
So it's a defensible position.
yes, yeah, and
Okay.
out of
Again, we're talking about the extreme scenario where we're all under threat here.
Would you
We're not talking about a hurricane or anything like that. We're
Okay.
talking about the worst case scenario.
let me pose you with a
pose me.
a scenario.
Okay,
You and your family are all hunkered down in your little
hunker
place.
down place.
Me and let's say 3 other people.
Ain't gonna
Come on.
happen, brother.
Me.
Ain't gonna
No.
happen. Mm-mm.
No.
You're not part of the picture.
Okay.
Sorry, buddy.
You know what? And that decision is going to have to be made at some point, anyways, of who we're going to let in, who we're not. But I'm one of these guys that I say, we have so many MREs, one MRE per day. That's 4,000 to 5,000 calories, blah, 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 blah. If you want to save up your cocoa powder and make a cake at the end of the week, that's up to you.
Hey, sweetheart, we've got garden.
Yeah.
Where I'm going.
Okay. That's
Here's
Go ahead with your
my
MRE,
opinion
though.
on it is if you bring a skill to the table,
You're in.
you're in.
Yeah.
Now, and for me, in the worst case scenario, that is some kind of training.
Oh, yeah.
If you've had no training, I'm leaving you behind. Fuck you.
right.
Xander.
I agree.
It's
I
after
agree.
9. It's after 2100.
Right.
He can use it.
I agree, but yeah, I agree. If you have a skill, you're in. But in my particular situation, we've got all the bases covered.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, are you going to allow the
Medical?
illegal aliens to come in to
medical, yes,
to
absolutely.
to basically strain your infrastructure?
Not no,
Yeah. See,
no. not
I
at all.
think we make a joke about it and we say, yeah, we'd let everybody in and we'd be humans and all that other stuff. No. There's a real good chance if you didn't stop at the checkpoint, I'd pop you right there.
Well,
don't
here's the thing with our situation. We have a stockpile of firearms. We have a
Mhm.
walk-in safe. We have a stockpile of rounds, and they are all loaded locally. Thank you very much. We don't have to go buy them.
We don't go outside for our ammo.
That's exactly right. And we also have, we have self-sustainment on the property, by way of maybe a 20-row garden there, that we can harvest a couple of times a year. And we're going to feed at that particular point. We're going to, we know all the metrics. We know how many people we're going to feed. We know how many, we're guessing at how long we're going to have to do that. But, for the foreseeable future, nobody's going to be able to threaten that property. So we'll be able to harvest that, at an unlimited, just at the rate that they grow and harvest.
I'm gonna hold up in a Twinkie factory.
Go ahead. You're good.
Whatever.
Y'all ever seen what's that movie? Zombieland.
Oh yeah. Right.
He's always looking for the Twinkie.
Aren't we all?
That's a great piece of crap film. If you like those.
Anyway,
yeah. I was
so
about to say,
yeah.
yes. Okay, so all of
let me.
our-
I want to for people who don't know about prepping or what anything of this about, a couple of YouTube channels I want them to check out if
Okay.
they can. The first one is called Sensible Prepper.
sounds good.
Some excellent advice from that guy. It's his other channel is called Sootch, SOOTCH, which is mostly weapon gun reviews. But his Sensible Prepper channel, it's a great thing. Pick up a lot of really good tips.
You know, one of the number one mistakes they say about prepping is not having a library. You know, because you're not going to remember the 24-hour edibility test. You know, there's certain things, especially wherever you live. You know, what's indigenous to that area is snakes, spiders, fish. Shoot, man, I tell you what, there's you know, you could live healthy off fish, but remember we talked about it. Is when does the water supply become polluted? And will you know? I mean, you can't boil your fish.
Yeah. And you got to watch out for those pregnant women.
Oh yeah, always
because isn't your number one like prepping advice to find a bunch of girls? And then what we determined last. And then what we determined last week.
I did not say a bunch. I did not say a bunch. I said
said
Jennifer
2 or
Aniston.
3.
Just 3 or 4 willing.
Jennifer
ones.
Aniston.
Okay. All right. 3 or 4 willing ones.
Look, I only have
and
so
you
much
can rotate
chloroform.
through.
It's the apocalypse.
I
It doesn't need to be
only
willing.
have so much chloroform.
Yeah, but you can rotate through those.
Jennifer Aniston and Taylor Swift. They both have talent.
Scarlett Johansson.
Skills. They have skills.
They got skills, talent. They're
Training.
doing a college.
Come on, do us
okay.
a skit, Scarlett. Go ahead.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yes, it's a nude scene. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so the other thing too is if you think about it, is okay, you're stockpiling stuff, but what about those skills, right? You were talking about a garden. I mean, you know, I would love that. I mean, you know.
Well, you know, there's a theme in prepping that has been a part of I guess I'm gonna call it the Appalachian lifestyle. You know, there's a theme in prepping that has been a part of that lifestyle and still continues to be a part of that lifestyle right now, and that is the idea of self-sufficiency. You know, the place where I'm going and there's people that live there now that live there full time. And they actually live where, you know, a lot of very little of their vegetables they have to go out and buy. They actually buy very little meat as well. We actually happen to have a farmer, a cattle farmer in the family. And you know, so there's a piece of that is a part of you know, a normal accepted part of our culture right now.
Yeah, I mean, one of my guys is he grows all his own fruit and veg, raises his own livestock, peels them himself.
Man,
everything.
I would love that. You see what I'm saying? Like raising some cows,
Yeah,
raising some
yeah,
pigs,
and
chickens.
yeah, he
Man, I
peels.
love that.
He'll peel a cow. He'll peel a deer. He'll do whatever he has to. It's amazing.
So I mean, in
And
that
that's
case,
acceptable. That's acceptable now as the way that they live now, and it's just, it has something to do with the economy. It has something to do with some of the USDA and FDA. You know.
Okay, taking all this into consideration, let's get back to what McLovin asked me. I mean, I got a cow, I got a pig, I got a chicken, and I got a family to feed. McLovin hasn't done any preparation whatsoever. He shows up with a couple of people.
Right, but he doesn't show up with a couple of people. You pop him.
That's right.
Yeah, I'll hit him at the front gate.
Yeah, I mean, no offense, but
I tried to get in to kill y'all. That was the second part of it.
There you go.
Take your stuff.
That's why you don't let anybody in.
See how that played out?
Well, you know,
Hey, at least he's honest about it.
That's my plan. Is if anything goes to shit, I'll have my weapon or whatever,
Everybody in my neighborhood's dead.
and I'll just keep killing. Yeah,
I'm serious.
Yeah, no, I'll just keep killing people and take their stuff.
I hope.
All your stuff belong to me.
I'm
here's
not
the
getting
problem. Here's the problem with that plan. You're designing your prepping strategy to be in a place that's highly populated.
That's a video game reference, by the way.
I'm not. I'm not.
All your base belongs
My
to
God,
us.
you guys are crazy.
By
man.
the way,
You've never seen that?
possibly.
Come on, man, you are young.
I'm old. You're old.
Well, yeah. Look
Okay.
that up though. All your base are belong to us.
Do you have any domestic animals at the house right now, Brian?
No, not here, but
Okay.
there are at the prepping site that
Okay.
I have.
Xander, how
So-
about you? Any domestic animals at the house?
No.
McLevin?
A kitty.
A kitty cat. That
I'm a strong proponent of. There was a line. Have you ever seen the movie Heat?
yes.
Yes.
There was a line in that movie that De Niro, where they met in a cafe. Bob De Niro and Al Pacino.
Absolutely.
And
I
De
remember that
Niro-
scene.
De Niro said to Pacino, "Never let anything in your life that you're not willing to walk out on in 15 seconds if you feel the heat around the corner."
That's right.
I agree with that entirely.
I agree.
Absolutely.
You're
That
single, right?
Oh God, yes.
well, that applies,
Zero wing.
that applies across the
Yeah.
board in so many different ways. But as it applies to prepping, great point. Is it a need or is it a want?
Precisely.
Either way, I'm killing you and taking it.
Yeah. Good luck.
Well, come on with it, bro.
This man without his rifle.
Yeah.
I have a rifle.
I've
Yeah.
got a slingshot
Do
with
you?
ball bearings.
Yeah.
What do you have?
I don't know.
Airsoft.
Okay, that's good.
No, I don't have an
That's good.
Well, I do have an airsoft
what,
rifle.
what caliber is it?
It's a
Airsoft.
22.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Airsoft. Freaking paintball gun.
McLovin's going to storm the compound with
Yeah,
his
really.
22.
Hey, dude, you better get to know.
Get
some-
ready,
you better
mother.
get to,
Get ready.
Yeah.
Pew, pew.
All your base are belong to us.
That's awesome.
That would be great.
Hey, look, we're going to switch gears real quick because we're starting to run out of time. We got to do the whole.
Let's talk about tech. Let's talk about tomorrow. Let's
Yeah, you
Big
hit.
Apple.
let's
you hit
talk
tech,
about
and I'm going to get him the number to Alpha.
let's
Lupo,
talk
so.
about tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Apple. What's his name? Tim Cook will be on stage at the Buena Vista Center, and he'll be doing the big Apple presentation tomorrow.
iPhone 7.
iPhone 6s
that's right.
and the
Wow.
6s Plus.
He freaking
It's what
loves
now.
you,
Now
man.
none of this is set in stone. We don't really know until tomorrow because Apple are big on
What if he
secrecy.
decides
they're-
to
they're
skip
expecting-
3 numbers?
They're expecting an iPhone 6s and a 6s Plus, which will have apparently a better camera, better battery life, but also Force Touch.
Do you
This
this
feature,
you like Apple?
this feature on the Apple Watch where you can
I actually used to be
like
a
press down
AppleCare,
on the screen
representative.
and it gives you a basically a third dimension of interacting with the UI. So they're expecting that to be added. Michael,
Sir,
listen,
Apple is.
they're expecting
girls.
What's wrong with you, man?
they're
Man,
expecting
Apple's for girls.
Oh,
dude.
for Christ's sake.
Why? Technically, defend your position, sir.
mute the host.
I can mute
Okay,
anybody
yeah,
I want.
keep him muted. Let me finish real quick.
Go ahead.
So anyway, they're expecting new iPhones. Also, they may see an iPad Pro, which will be a 12 and a half inch iPad, a much larger format. Possibly a new Apple TV. OS 9 for the iPhone and iPad should they should announce a release date for it, which I think will be probably in October.
Near the
maybe
holidays, yeah.
some updates on the new operating system for the Mac, and basically a lot of good stuff tomorrow. I may have some new things to talk about next Tuesday.
Apple.
Not that Michael will let me talk about them because apparently iPhones are for girls.
They are.
Absolutely not.
Okay, what's an Apple TV? Help me out here.
Apple TV is it's like a. Do you know what a Roku is? You know what Roku is?
Yeah.
It's like it's their
Okay.
version of a Roku.
Now, is it a box?
it's a box that plugs into your TV.
Okay, so it's not an actual Apple.
No, it's not an actual TV. It's just their Apple TV. It's a little box, set-top box, plugs in HDMI, lets you do all kind of stuff. Tons of channels. That's how I watch Netflix and Hulu primarily is
Really?
on the Apple TV.
Okay,
Not
now I
only,
view it-
Can I point out? Not
No.
only the fact is, can you watch a bunch of channels?
Mhm.
There is also PC is a part of the Apple TV. You can also browse the web. You can use any app that you can use on any other Apple device.
Not on Apple TV.
Mm-mm.
Not
on
yet.
Apple
Or not yet. Although
yet.
they think that may be announced tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
They're thinking they may announce native apps for the Apple TV tomorrow. What you can do though is it's all, remember I was talking about the whole infrastructure, the whole ecosystem.
Right.
You can use AirPlay and things like that from your PC. So whatever you're doing on your PC, you can then send to your television through the Apple TV and mirror it there.
Wirelessly, right.
Yeah. So and again, all my movies, for example, are ripped onto my PC, and I can call them up on the Apple TV and play them on my large television right there.
Now, off of my tablet with a smart TV, I can mirror. I can throw it from that to
You
the TV.
can make it a monitor, basically.
Yeah, it's called mirroring. Can you do that
Don't
with
tell
Apple
me.
products?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Although with Android, you can't actually you don't mirror. So the Android, it doesn't. It's
called freaking mirroring.
okay. Here's the Android has this. Google have this thing. It's I believe it's just called Google Play. It's a little old USB dongle that you plug
Chromecast.
into your
Yeah.
Chromecast. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it doesn't mirror your phone. What it does is your phone, if you're watching YouTube on your phone, it goes up to the internet.
Right.
And you can say, play this on the Chromecast.
Right.
Chromecast then also connects to the internet and streams it down. So it's
Exactly.
not going from your phone to the TV. It's
From your
still
phone?
streaming
Okay,
from the
It's from
internet.
your phone to
whereas-
the server.
whereas
and
with-
That's
yeah.
Chromecast.
Whereas with
PlayStation 2
iOS,
does
it
it.
sends it straight to your TV.
The
Okay, that's-
PlayStation does the same thing.
That's Chromecast, but I can mirror from that tablet, no doggle, straight to a smart TV.
Yeah, but that's the,
Okay.
essentially what you're doing is using that TV as a monitor.
Yeah.
You're saying mirroring, but
you
all
can do
your-
it with Netflix.
Right.
Have y'all done it with Netflix?
Absolutely.
I have Netflix on the Apple
Yeah.
TV, but yeah, I can send
Yeah.
if I'm watching Netflix on my iPad, I can
You can
press
fling
a
it over.
button and throw it to the
Yeah,
Apple
right,
TV.
right.
I
Pretty
can
cool.
do it with my games. Like I was saying, iPad has become my main gaming console now, and I have a
Really?
yeah, I have this. Hold on.
It kind of makes me sad because you're missing out on all the.
Now,
Well,
Amazing.
it kind of makes me sad too because he's a grown man playing games on his
Well-
little Apple
well, the-
products.
The,
Hey,
one of the main points about
there's my little controller.
Shall we talk about what you do in the morning?
Here's my controller.
Hey, some privacy.
That's cute.
It's a dinky little thing.
That is cute,
Yeah.
isn't it?
So
oh my God.
I can start my game on
Oh,
here. I can
It's so
mirror it.
little.
I can mirror it to my Apple TV, and I can use this as a console. I can play Grand Theft Auto or
I mean, there's apps that
Rainbow
I can.
Six. Play
there's-
whatever I
I
want,
can see him just huddled up on the couch like
like a little
here's-
chipmunk.
Eating Cheetos.
here's the thing that I want to point out
Jesus.
from
Noob.
from a
call
information technology perspective here. What we're talking about is a highly secure way to do whatever you want to do, whether it be stream your videos, whether it be whatever kind of work you want to do on the internet.
What
The
makes it
difference-
secure?
The difference is the language that the operating system uses to operate. That's the difference.
All right, well,
and,
we're gonna
and also a bunch
Go
of
ahead,
people.
call him. It's all right. He get it.
we're gonna call our residential expert.
Alpha Lupo.
Your residential expert's already here.
Also,
When it comes to iOS,
Video game.
thank you.
oh,
Thank
video
you.
gaming, sure.
Hey,
And
hey, I was an Apple Care rep, by the way.
Were you?
Well, I was a Google freaking rep. Who cares?
So what do you know?
Well, then you should know.
Why do you have
You
to
should know
pay?
then why iOS is more secure than Android.
Alpha Lupo.
Hello.
¿Qué pasó?
Bien, gracias. ¿Y tú?
Oh, easy.
All
Chill
right.
now. I don't speak
We're not that smart here.
Not like
K-R-S.
yeah, really. Okay, look, the conversation is unfortunately, I don't know how this happened, but Android versus Apple, and I think we all know that Apple is for girls.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Now, let me ask you a question over there, Southern Polytech. Do you guys use Apple or do you use Android?
Android's a lot easier to work with.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, for learning people.
Yeah, but these are the people that do this stuff, man. The people that graduate freaking Southern Polytech are the people that freaking make these apps and make these games and design these phones.
Apps for what?
For everything.
Because Apple is where the
Whatever.
money is at.
Yeah, because they make you pay for everything.
No,
An
they don't.
Apple app
No.
isn't any better than an Android app.
No, it
Yeah,
actually is better.
No, Apple
more
and Mac
secure.
products get hacked too. I'm not going to listen to that.
No,
crap.
they don't.
Yes,
no,
they do.
no, they
Show
don't.
me one example
No, they
Oh my
where.
God, I worked in a
Show
pawn
me-
shop for 4 years, and
show
every
me-
damn Apple we got in there was freaking jacked up.
Show me one example
That's because
where
they try to
an
jailbreak
iPhone.
it.
That's
That's
a
what opens-
user issue.
Show me
I mean-
show me one example where a non-jailbroken iPhone has been compromised.
It's not going to happen.
Nope. Compromise like it's some
I mean,
freaking secret thing.
Yeah.
going on.
I mean, the only
And
thing I
I'll,
can
and I'll
say
show
is
you. I'll
jailbroken.
show you
No.
every day. I'll show you a dozen Androids
Yeah.
that have been screwed
Well,
up by malware.
That's just
Oh yeah,
sheer
because
numbers.
it's fun.
He said it's
fun.
fun.
Great.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. And
Coder.
I want to tell you that this is because the long-standing conflict that Steve Jobs, before the late Steve Jobs, before he passed, and
Rest
Mr.
in peace.
Bill Gates.
Jesus, it's a 2.5-hour show.
Right. I'm just saying. Man, I'm just saying it's their conflict. And listen, that has branched out into hey, look, man, we gotta really take down this jackass that stole this idea and tried to profit from it.
Weren't they suing them once more
Oh God,
well,
Apple is always
Well,
suing somebody.
because they keep taking Apple's ideas
Yeah, I
because
mean,
Apple
quit-
is
yeah,
number
quit-
one.
Quit stealing their stuff, and it won't
Yeah.
happen. Here's the thing: if you want a show called Guns and Gadgets, this is part of Gadgets. This is part of Gadgets, and quite frankly, it's the most prevalent gadget on the planet right now.
What's that?
Absolutely.
Apple?
No, the Android.
Oh yeah.
Well, iPhones,
Android.
iOS, and Android, they're the most prevalent gadgets on
Oh,
the
yeah,
planet.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you got to talk about them.
I say our cars are going to become the most powerful computers we own.
I disagree.
No.
I say our
Yeah,
cars
I
are.
disagree
Mm-mm.
too.
You think it's going to be handheld or something in
It's
the
gonna
house?
definitely
It already is
handheld.
handheld,
It's-
and they're
it's-
just going
I
to keep
can tell you-
advancing.
I can tell you that now throughout campus, it's not little cars or anything like that. It's these little hoverboards that have like little wheels on them, and you get from place to place pretty doggone fine with those.
Yeah, hoverboards.
Wow.
Welcome to the
Jesus Christ,
future.
Are you serious? There's
Yeah.
hoverboard?
Yeah, you didn't
Yeah,
know that?
but why would a hoverboard need wheels?
It doesn't.
Well, they just call it that because it looks like one right now.
Okay.
But
So
it's
it's a
pretty
skateboard.
much all you do is you put your feet. Actually, you take a skateboard and turn the other way, and you put your feet on there, and you just lean forward and you go straight.
Do you
Oh,
have
like
one?
a Segway.
Yeah,
but-
kind of
like
like
a-
that.
It's kind of like a Segway, but it's just a
Just the-
little
yeah,
flat
just the-
board.
But you
just
can
the
break your
foot
face
part.
easily.
Yeah.
You break your
Well,
face on a
if you
Segway.
don't know how to ride them, it's pretty funny watching people fail. But
Yeah, I've seen those. I saw a video on those last week because there's some kind of electronics conference or some rubbish going on right now.
Real quick
Wow.
onto a video game topic. I have a question to pass amongst the room and the ether through the
Mhm.
phone. Are video games making people violent?
no,
Yes.
no,
No way.
No.
no. I gotta say no.
Why?
I say yes.
I think
Clearly, okay. From my kind of perspective and everything like that, video games are more so a stress reliever for us older people. Now, say
You're
for
like
instance,
20.
you're in a situation in which your mother/father buy you an Xbox or buy you a PS3, and they just let you sit on there for hours upon hours playing GTA, which is, in my opinion, the worst game to give to a child.
Yeah.
Um,
Agreed.
Okay, so you're agreeing that that game is violent.
Yeah.
That game is violent, but it's not going to cause violent
Okay,
tendencies.
Mike, here's your argument. It's that video games make people violent. I think the question should be, do video games desensitize people to violence?
it's moral irreprehensibility on the game
Yeah.
that causes
Holy
the problem.
crap.
Yeah.
Say
Does
that
it
again?
now? I think
Moral
there
irreprehensibility.
may be an argument to be made that it desensitizes people to violence, but there's no argument ever to be made that it causes people to be
I
violent.
think it gives kids the option of violence to solve their problem.
Oh,
I don't think there's
Now
any
that,
evidence of that.
Mm.
okay, so let's just say a child is kind of disruptive already. Giving them a video game like GTA, which it pretty much tells you, okay, go beat the living crap out of someone to get money, that's going to give that child who already has anger and frustration within them to go act out upon it.
It's-
Like, oh, this is okay. I'm just going to go do it because I'm angry
Well,
and I can go do it.
It's another one of those things of the parents are held responsible for what their kids do. It's like a parent suing McDonald's because it made their kid fat. You're the dumbass that took them to McDonald's in the first place.
I'll say
I agree.
this.
I agree with that.
I'll
You're
say
the
this.
dumbass that bought the violent video game
And-
that had a
warning.
legal warning
Yeah.
on there.
And you know what? Like GameStop, they're pretty good about that.
Very.
They would.
Oh, man,
you're-
they stop you.
yeah.
And they're like, okay, how old are you? What
Yeah.
an ID and everything.
I'll say this as a parent of 3, and my children are 8, 12, and 13. All of them play video games. All of them I play video games with.
Right.
We have a couple of different systems. I think we have PS3 and Xbox. And you know, we do the Call of Duty, we do the Black Ops. You know, Mike and I, we have that military connection. I talk a lot about, you know, while we're doing that, why, you know, this thing happens, or hey, look, let's go this way because this will be easier, or hey, look, let's
but
you know,
they don't
pop-
follow that crap.
well,
All right.
well,
No, the other kids
the,
do.
the point I'm trying to make is
They used to.
the point I'm trying to make is the video game itself. I mean, in the video game, we're shooting and killing the enemy.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay, so that in and of itself is a violent act.
Right.
However, we're also communicating. We're also bonding over this experience. So
Hand-eye coordination is being improved.
exactly
Oh,
now,
Oh, yeah.
and my children, one of them is actually a grade ahead of her scale as far as her age. She has skipped a grade.
Mhm.
You know,
It's
all of
problem solving.
right. So and none of them have a you know a
Father?
record of of violence. None of them
I'll
have a
mute you.
tendency towards, you know, pulling wings off of flies or butterflies or anything else that might be crazy.
All right, here's a report from last month. The American Psychological Association
I was
Task
about to read
Force have concluded a study, and it said the research demonstrates a consistent relation between decreases in empathy and sensitivity to aggression and video games. However, after more than 20 years of studies, the APA still says there's not enough research into whether games cause actual criminal violence. So it's like I said, does it desensitize people? I do believe there's apparently there is a case to be made there because this study proves that it desensitizes kids
The
to
local
violence.
the news that they watch, if they weren't playing video games, shows people killing cops.
Right. That's
That's a
gonna do the same thing. It's gonna do the
desensitization.
same thing.
No, it's not. We talked about that at the beginning of the show.
It's
Yeah.
it makes cops the bad guys.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, but the point I'm trying to make is that
They say there's still
You're-
there's still a need for a lot more research into it,
Yeah.
Mike. So
You need to as parents, you need to teach your kids on what is right and what is wrong, and that has skipped a generation, and that is why we're in the state that we're at as a country.
well, I mean, if you're letting your kids
Yeah,
play,
that's right.
if you're letting your 12-year-olds play Grand Theft Auto, you need some violence visited on you. To be
Right.
honest
Yeah.
with you.
Right.
12-year-olds.
Yeah, because that's oh yeah, there's 4-year-olds that'll play.
I was about to say
Okay.
you got a problem with
I
a
gotta
12.
say, I gotta say
Crap.
something right now. When I was younger, my dad allowed me to play GTA for like one time, and all I would do was just beat the crap out of people and drive a Hummer around. That's all I did.
Yeah.
I mean, but as soon as he started seeing me not even following the story, not doing what I should be doing, he took it away. I never saw that game again, or haven't even touched a GTA in forever. That's like the only time I've ever touched it.
Okay, but in the same respect, I was playing a video game many years ago. It was one of the first person shooters called
Oh.
SOCOM.
How old were you?
Well, this was every bit of 17, maybe 18 years ago. Okay.
So you were
well-
you were above the age of 18.
About 15. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, good.
So let's say 15 years ago. It was SOCOM, which I'm not going to get into. But basically, you control a team of
I have
Navy
it. You're
SEALs.
controlling SEALs.
Okay. So my son was playing, and it's after 9:30. Basically, he moved forward and the guys were supposed to follow him. Well, he turned around and looked at the guys and they were coming along slow. He said, "Cowboy the fuck up."
which is one of the commands in the game. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there going, whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's not say that. Your mom's going to hear that stuff. So, but you see what I'm getting at here is
Right,
that
but that's desensitization. He thinks he's playing the game, and he's able to say those things because that command is part of the
the
game.
game. Yeah.
It-
Well, that's
because
something
the
we
game-
said in the
the
military.
game-
But what did
Yeah,
you?
The
absolutely.
What did
game
you?
uses voice commands.
What did you do when he did that?
I hugged him.
Well,
You hugged
see,
him.
we had a.
Hey, man, I was proud.
We actually
That's
had,
something I say. I mean,
there's a couple of first person games. One of them, I'll say one of my favorites is Metal Gear Solid. Which in a lot of these games they have a storyline that goes along with that. Another one is the series for Assassin's Creed.
which is
Oh,
awesome.
yeah, that's
Right.
good. It's
Yeah, that's
great
amazing.
series.
Right.
That's
It's a-
amazing.
But-
Beautiful
but-
series.
Yeah.
But like I said, my children are 8, 12, and 13 at this point. So there are some scenes and some parts of that may be a little more graphic than what I want them to experience.
Mhm.
How I address that is normally on some of those games, we will play with either the sound muted or the sound all the way down. That will keep the profanity,
Right.
those voice commands that are a part of the game that you can't really,
Oh, well,
you
not only
can't
that,
take-
but the other kids.
right. You
I mean,
can't undo that. That's not a setting that you have a control over as a user. The other part of it is some of the scenes there are some love scenes or whatever you want to call them in
baby.
Assassin's Creed.
Normally, when a
Right.
game is like that, there is always an option
Right.
to skip that.
All you got to do is press
Oh,
a
yeah.
button and you go
I-
right to the next scene.
Yeah,
you know?
I think
So-
what parents need to be paying attention to more than anything is the online play. When your kids
Oh,
your kids are sat there with a
Absolutely.
microphone and headphones,
Yeah.
you don't know who they're talking
that's
to,
something
and you
that we
don't know
don't-
what's being said to them.
we don't do a
and
whole lot of that. By the way,
The only way you can do that is through a console's online
Yeah.
systems
Yeah.
or servers.
Right.
You
But that's
you
play.
can, you as the parent can set
the
an
parental-
option
Parental
of parental
controls is what you're
control
talking about. Yeah.
to where he
Yeah.
can't play or he or she cannot play online with people.
Well, yeah, but if you can't play online, damn, that's 95% of the game anymore.
I couldn't have a phone.
Well, I mean, what do
until I
you
was
what do you
13.
want, Michael? Do you want a
You know?
nation of well-behaved children or a nation of heathens?
Well, you
'Cause
know
they-
me. I
'cause,
want,
you know,
I want
these
a nation.
Video games are turning out heathens, apparently.
Well, no, I think there's something functionally
no,
wrong with
no,
a
you're wrong.
9-year-old.
I'm being facetious.
Okay, well,
I think there's
it's
something
not video
functionally
games,
wrong with a
it's the
society that
parents.
has a 10-year-old kid that can tell me the freaking caliber of an F90 and the cyclic freaking
hey,
rate.
but you haven't played Just Dance, the freaking Black Eyed
Yeah.
Peas version either.
And if you look at the,
black
age rating,
version.
if you look
You
at the
racist,
age,
shut up.
if you look at the age ratings on those games, I think if parents actually paid attention to those age ratings and stopped pandering to their fucking brats, that wouldn't be a problem, would it?
Agree.
Absolutely. Thank you
All
for
right,
saying that.
Hey,
sir.
hey.
In other
it's
words,
21:30.
Parents beat your kid's ass.
I'm all about it. In fact, hey, Brian, are your kids illegitimate or?
No, they're all legitimized.
Okay, good. So,
Good. You can
Thank
beat 'em.
you.
hey, it's 21:32.
And they look
We're a
just
little bit
like me.
over. Alpha
Poor
Lupo,
kids.
as always, thank you very much. We appreciate your insight.
You're welcome.
Go Southern Polytech. Y'all don't have like a football team or anything. You're a bunch of nerds. up
Well, Kennesaw's taking over that part.
there.
So.
Yeah, a bunch of nerds up there.
Boo,
The nerdy
Kennesaw.
school. Nerdy
Oh.
school. All right, man. Thanks a lot. We
Yeah.
appreciate you.
According
will
to
do.
this, the Call of Duty franchise has an age limit recommendation of 16.
Yeah.
And
Well, we all
you
see how
know,
that ended up,
you know
right?
damn well the majority of players are
No,
probably
man,
below
come on,
16.
man.
Absolutely.
My 12-year-old
Mine
son
are.
was playing it till the wee hours Saturday night.
All right.
Exactly.
Thank you, Alpha Lupo.
Oh, yeah, but
We gotta
it-
go.
So
we gotta get
so
off the air.
again, who's to blame? The games, the
Okay.
games, or the parents?
the parents.
Hey, thanks for calling in, buddy.
Yeah. See you
I
later.
We really appreciate it.
Well,
See you later, guys.
actually, we called him, but that's just a technical thing. Hey, look, real quick, at the end of the night, I'd like to thank you guys. Seriously, some great discussion. Look, go to your personal, your Facebook, and invite people to like our page so that we can bump up these listeners and we can get some of these words out. Because you know what? We're average guys. Ain't nobody in here a freaking PhD. I don't know. He probably. What are you looking at? A master's? You got a master's?
No.
Okay, so we're in the bachelor degree area here, and we've got a lot of
I don't
different
even have it.
generational information. Brian, you're welcome any night that we're doing it Tuesday night. I wouldn't show up on Thursday night, man.
Why not?
They won't let you in.
You don't have a uterus?
Yeah.
So,
Well, he does.
on
So,
your person.
Real quick, I just want to hit the Freedom Outdoor Adventures, help a veteran. The Win an AR-15 is still going on. $20 a ticket. The drawing is November 1st. They're giving away an M15A4 black carbine in 5.56. There's only going to be 400 tickets sold. So it's some great odds, and we'd figured it out. If you put in $100, you're looking at about a 1 in 80 chance of winning, taking home an AR-15. And you know what? These guys over at Freedom Outdoor Adventures, they take vets out. It's kind of an alternative rehabilitation thing. They get guys back out in the field. They get them out there hunting and fishing and shooting and just doing the things that soldiers generally like to do. Hey, Sierra 6, she texted me. She apologized. This is a very tough working woman, and she was transporting a foster child to a new home. And so obviously there was a little issue there with her answering the phone. And you know what? I'm proud of her. I'm glad she took the precedence to take care of the child. That's way more
I think we
important.
should, as a society, pay more attention to those people.
I tell you what, man.
Absolutely. Love
Yeah.
you, Sierra 6. Thank you. For
Yeah.
Yes,
What?
yes,
God, what's not to love about this
Yes,
woman?
the police. Yes, the army. But I mean, or
Yeah.
yes, the military. But the social workers and the
Man,
civil.
and this woman is tough, buddy. She is flat tough. You know what? She goes to the gym. She has this beautiful tattoo, and I'm not a tattoo guy, man. She has this beautiful tattoo that tells a story on her arm.
You don't like
She-
my tattoos?
No, I don't like your tattoos, and I've seen you naked. So, she shoots. She's a mother. She's a social worker. She places these kids. She does urine analysis like every day, it seems like, for these kids and families. And then on top of that, she's a big freaking advocate for the veterans issues down at Fort Benning, Georgia. She's an amazing woman. We love Sierra 6, and we fully understand that you couldn't get on the phone with us tonight. But that just means next week we get twice as much. Brian, buddy, appreciate you being here, man.
Thanks.
It's
for
always
having me.
it's always good to see you. You're a brother in arms, which means you'll always be a brother from a different mother, but a brother. It's kind of like a Chicago thing.
Did you just make that up?
I did. Xander, are you awake, buddy?
I am.
All right. What you got that serious look on your face?
We're talking about Kennesaw, Georgia over here now.
You know, Kennesaw kind of merged with Southern Poly.
Mhm.
Kennesaw State.
Yeah. But here's the thing is, I was reading about it because I thought I used to work right there. I mean, you could literally see Southern Poly from where I worked. And so I started reading about it, and I kind of thought it was a merge and they were just going to call both campuses one thing. But no, I mean, there's still a lot of separation going on. And if you're going to Kennesaw, you're up at Kennesaw. If you're going to Southern Poly, you're down at Southern Poly.
It's probably pretty good that way. Kennesaw State, I got a really close friend who's a graduate from there. They've got a great business program and also pre-law and law programs there.
Yeah, see, they don't have that at Poly.
Right.
Yeah.
But what they do have is the technical aspect.
Absolutely.
And they do have a great program, and they're very affordable. Southern Poly is a little bit different on that.
Southern Poly's expensive.
Well,
Yeah.
I say that in reference
It's not
to
a Georgia Tech
right.
as far as that, but I tell you what, Southern Poly is recognized all over the world, man, and all these game companies. And
Yeah,
whatnot.
DuPont. There's a lot of companies that are associated.
They do. Have you ever seen the race car stuff they got up there? They have a freaking Formula One race car up there, and they have a concrete canoe, which is I don't understand, and then they do the pumpkin chunkin competition up there too. So, Xander, you have any closing remarks for us this evening?
God save the queen.
Yeah.
And
God
all who
bless
sail
her.
with her.
God bless her little cotton socks. God love her. I hope she makes it to her platinum.
Tox thieving
I hope she makes it
bastard.
to her platinum
What's that?
coronation.
What's that? 1,000?
No, isn't it
I'll tell you what.
70 years. I think 70 will be platinum.
As an aside, I did insult the Queen at one time early in my military career. I was about 22. It was a long time ago, and I did reap the repercussions of that from a British soldier.
I've worked with the British twice in my life. Once with a meteorological team. No, they weren't. And two, I worked with the British Captain Blake over in Kabul. She helped me out. In fact, she got us all back in the freaking wire one time when that.
And she was hot.
Yeah, she was kind of cute.
Thank you to all the first responders in America.
Well, I tell you what, man, I've been reading a lot about first responders, and you know what?
They see the ugliest parts of society.
We had to go through a training in the military called Combat Lifesaver, which is basically first responder stuff, you know. And we joked and kid around. Hey, man, that's a ringer. But you know what? You start looking at when push comes to shove, you know.
Mhm.
When the crap hits the fan, when the apocalypse occurs, just think about those EMT folks, man. They're gonna be in it. You know, they're gonna be in it. Those guys should probably be carrying guns. McLovin, any closing comments?
My closing comment.
Really? That was pretty lame. Hey guys, I want to remind y'all the morning show. 7:30 to 10 Monday through Fridays. It's crazy. Who knows what the topic is? We wing it and it's funny.
Tomorrow night, Electric Hill.
Electric High. Yeah, it's been a long day. Electric High with Aaron Hill and Steve Hill on the knobs. And then DJ Smiley, my infatuation, will be running the board for Ladies Talk on Thursday night. Hey, look, we have all of these pages are on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
We would love for you guys to go to them and like them, invite your friends.
Invite your
friends. I'll tell two friends, you tell two friends. And hey, you know what? A big shout out to DJ Scotty for making this all happen, man, with Just for Fun Radio. We're here, you're there. Stay frosty.
Stay classy,
San Diego. I'll be playing the electric flute later.
All right. See you.
Bye.
We still on YouTube? So did you see the video?